Hello, world. We're back. Welcome back to the Forbidden Lands, the Hanging Stones. This is session 27. When last we left our heroes, they are deep in
we are.
the Forgotten Mines beneath Stonegarden on a quest to secure the prison of a forgotten beast to help the dwarves. And they have been promised by the king of the Canide dwarves to be granted a stronghold in a location of their choosing, to be raised up out of the earth by the stone singers themselves in exchange for going on this holy mission. The dwarves themselves don't want to take it on because any dwarf that goes into the sacred mines has to forego bonds with their clan and be branded forever. So we are joined by two dwarfs. One who is Arvia of Chrome, who seems to be a loudmouth, rabble-rouser, war hero type who has shown great martial prowess fighting with her axe. And
she rolls a fistful of dice.
She rolls a big fistful of dice. And we are also joined by Lupendus Firm, who seems to be an over-the-hill old military veteran dwarf who has nothing to lose and everything to sacrifice by coming down here. We are also joined by Rangmar and Arvi, two dwellers who the group have termed jelly dwarfs because they can magically squeeze through the tiniest of cracks, an adaptation that allows them to live in the forgotten reaches deep beneath the mountain.
I call them Alex Mackins.
They are Alex Mackins. It's pretty accurate, really. Quick shout out to Sirenscape for our background audio, which we always use. Go check them out. They're on our overlay as well. Are
we not dabbing?
Hey, Hank is gesturing to Aimee while Adam's just dabbing, thinking that Hank is dabbing.
I'm putting Aimee out of a job here.
Dabs.
Jelly or jam? Oh, chat wants to know jelly or jam.
Aimee went off mic. She's very upset.
Elric's asking the hard-hitting questions here.
I
don't
hope
know.
we don't
We're
come
gonna have
across
to.
any jam dwarves.
We're gonna have to figure it out as we play, I think.
They're jelly. There's not enough
bits of
particulate for it to be
themselves?
jam.
There's some particulate.
Nah, there's not enough particulate for it to be jams. Just much danger.
much danger.
So we have just reached a vast chamber with grand columns. I'm
we
gonna
have.
recap the description here to remind everybody what's going on, and then we will jump in. So we just came down that huge spiral elevator that was noisy and janky. The pranksterish jelly dwarves convinced the party to push a big rock down it, which lies at the base of the spiral, and everybody rode down on this big elevator so deep. The air is thick and dusty and stale down here, and the dwellers can speak now because we have gone down where the air is thicker. Science.
Do we have trouble speaking?
Science.
No.
Okay, good.
This is just how it be in the Forbidden Lands. And yes, so you descend down a further flight of stairs. I will mention also that this map is abstract. The distances are larger than those shown on the map. The visuals are just to represent the order of things that you encounter on your way down, but it's much farther than it looks on this illustration. Beyond further flights of stairs, down a vast cave opens up, supported by immense pillars of a dull metallic material. The pillars don't run perpendicular, but branch out and are slanted and laid like beams across the ceiling. Their glowing blue veins give off a guiding light. Large faces are molded into the metal. So this is a vast cave with strange pillars, faint blue light, and we are marching along a long corridor with huge high ceilings up ahead, just lit with like a deep blue light, so it's mostly dark down here, but with just this dark blue sheen over everything that gives you silhouettes and outlines of things in the dark.
Ugh, I don't like it down here.
how long has it been?
How long have you been traveling?
Yeah, I mean, just given that we don't know like the distance specifically, is it still the same quarter day?
It's still the same quarter day, but
Okay.
it's approaching having been a full quarter day here soon.
Okay.
Um, you are marching along, your footsteps just the hall
Echoing.
is so vast that there's almost no echo. The
Oh.
sound just gets lost out into the distance. And the Dwelvers are sort of marching ahead of the group, and one of them is shaking his head like this, and the other one is shaking his head back at him, and they are looking up at the chambers around, and Arvi turns around to the party and says, "Shameful, so shameful," and just continues walking forwards.
What's shameful?
Look at it. And he points up at the pillars. How far the dwarves have fallen. Pathetic architecture. They hardly knew what they were doing when they built these shallow caves.
How many years ago was this generation of dwarves? We've gone down pretty far.
Oh, that would be centuries back.
Well, hopefully they do better up top.
The mountain grows with time, as is the way. But I doubt if we'll ever fulfill the tasks of Huge entrusted on our people if things continue to go downhill at such a pace. Rangmar is going to join the conversation. He says, "Are the dwarves as foolish as they seem?" You tell me there, you elf. He points at Vergello.
Foolish? In what way foolish?
They make fools of our kind. The architecture, the society, their whole city up there. It's a pathetic mess.
I mean, we were at least welcomed into that city. That was a plus. I don't know if I'd say fools, but
You can see Arvia just tightening her grip on her axe in the background going...
They have entire trees that are made of jewels. It was the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And I've seen a forest before.
We met one that could fly.
we did meet a flying dwarf.
This
Yep,
is...
and that's all we did. We met him and we went about on our way.
Arvia's like, I'm curious about that one. And then... let's see here. I'm gonna just... yeah, let's just random it off here. Ralgar,
Yes?
winner of the lottery. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Last time she was like, Robin said hi in the chat and nobody saw it.
We all saw it now.
Hi, Robin.
It's Robin. Robin. He's getting ready to end his day and getting some sleep.
Yeah, this is getting edited out. Anyway, so Ralgar, you are marching along this corridor, and you spot a glint of something rather shiny off in the shadows, about 15 feet off of the center of the corridor where everybody's marching, torch lit. It looks like a mound of black sooty stone with crystals jutting out of it, and they glint and flicker in the torchlight.
I want to roll lore.
Sure.
Kapow! Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Get him out of the way early. Get him
Ooh,
out of the
shiny.
way early.
You know that ooh, shiny.
I am going to go and walk up to them and put my 2 feet on either side and grab one and try to just yoink it out.
Okay. The stone, it seems to be like that porous kind of volcanic rock, that black rock.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got just crystals embedded in it. And you pull on one of the crystals, and it breaks loose. And it is like a purplish-looking amethyst crystal, quite beautiful
Ooh.
in the light of your torch. And you hold it in your hand, and the volcanic black rock that you pulled it out of crumbles easily to dust. It's rather fragile and pretty easy to pull the crystal out. The party is continuing marching on unless anybody says otherwise, and you are standing there holding a crystal a little bit off the beaten path, and you see, off in the dark, 3 more of these little mounds.
Ooh. Are they the
about
same
15
color,
feet
or do they
further
look
off of
like
the
different
path.
colors?
They're faintly different colors, ranging from they're all yellows and purples and whites.
Ooh, okay. I like the purple. Oh, yeah, these are pretty. I want one of all of them. And I just yell over my shoulder, "Hey guys, follow me!" And I just go for the next one.
That was loud enough to echo. Follow me, follow me, follow me.
But when I go for the next one, I'm a little bit worried. So before I pull, I'm going to take my axe out and just swing down on the mound and see if it crumbles.
You hit the mound and it crumbles, and crystals go scattering out across the ground in multiple different directions, but you can still see where they are. Some of them are slightly damaged, but the bulk of them are fine, because the first thing to break is that crumbly, dusty rock. At this point, Arvia is going to turn around and be like, "What is he on about?" And one of the Dwellers with their big giant eyes can see at a distance and mutters under his breath, "Oh dear."
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, I am scooping up some of those white ones, and I am like a puppy bounding towards the yellow pile. Same
Hey,
thing.
Ralgar, hold off.
What is that? Is it gonna hurt him? Is it gonna hurt us?
The Dwellers
picked
are
up a
looking
coin.
around a little bit frightened, and they're going, "Shh, shh, shh, shh.
Keep your voices down. Yes, don't make too much noise. Those are troll droppings. There's trolls about, and your friend is making a racket."
Ralgar!
And I'm scooping up the yellow ones, and I'm turning towards the next pile.
Ralgar!
The trolls are making a scouting roll for all this echoey sound.
For what it's worth, I am also going to be looking for the trolls and moving to a point of cover.
Okay.
I'm looking for trolls, but I'm not gonna roll like there's no way that I would see them. I'm just like kind of frantically, Ralgar!
I'm gonna go run and grab Ralgar by the tail.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, one sec. Just grab the stats here.
What? Run back. I'm trying to get the pretty gems.
The pretty gems are troll shit.
Why are you speaking all quiet? Wait, did you just say troll shit?
Yes!
Does it look like new troll shit, or is it old troll shit?
I don't know, but the jellies are freaking out.
Okay, okay, let's get as much as we can and put it in our bags and give it to Velas.
You've now gathered a half dozen of the crystals. Breaking any more out will prompt another scouting roll from the trolls. But after the party lowers their voices, the Dwellers are looking around. They're like, "We need to keep our heads down and our voices down and keep moving."
Okay, next time, tell me that before I go breaking into the troll shed.
Arvia walks up to you, and she's like, she shoves you back to the center of the path. And she's like, she's like, "You're gonna get us killed. Let's go."
I pull out one of the white ones and I go, "I got this one for you because I really like your hair."
Well, you're not the first person to tell me that, but thank you. And I don't want your petty crystals.
Oh, that's fine. More for me, but I still like your hair. Hey, Velas. Where's Velas? Has anyone seen Velas?
Ralgar.
What?
She shoves you back to the path again.
Oh. Okay.
Lupendus is going. As you continue walking through this grand corridor, you see dozens of these piles scattered about all over the place. And you see Rangmar and RV doing their hand gesture language to each other, and then RV turns around and looks at the party and goes, he's going like 5, 6, 7, shrug, quiet.
I go.
You stop that.
Do I see any piles that are either red, orange, blue, or green?
While Josh checks that, for those of you who don't remember, this means danger.
In Jelly Dwarf sign
In
language.
Jelly Dwarf sign language.
That it does. One sec. Checking something.
Did anyone else hear that crumble?
You don't see
noise?
crystals of other colors, but you do see one pile that looks marbled with gold.
Ooh.
Shiny yellow metal.
I tug on Grunrock's shoulder and I just point. I go, look at that one.
Lupendus, walking past you, just goes and keeps walking. You're left slightly behind the group, and it's up to you if you want to mess with anything or not.
I'm gonna go try and take some. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
It's embedded in black rock. You're gonna have to chip it out, and it's gonna make some echoing sounds to bust it loose from the floor enough to throw it in your backpack. And when you do, it's gonna be a heavy carried object. And you can say black rock marbled with gold, but if you're gonna chisel it loose from the floor enough to pick it up, then I'm gonna go ahead and make another roll. So you're gonna do that?
Oh boy.
I think I can carry it. Yeah, I'll try.
All right.
I mean, I can carry it, but
Ralgar and Grunrock are trailing behind the rest of the party in their own torchlight over here. Who's carrying a torch of the two of you, by the way?
I can see in the dark. I have dark
I guess
vision.
Ralgar's holding a torch. All right. Get out of here with that. All right, so, yeah, you're just gonna bend down with your scimitar and start chipping and prying and trying to get this thing off the floor.
Yeah.
Your
I don't know what else
actions
to do with
quickly
it.
draw the ire and attention of Arvia and Lupendus and the two Dwelvers up ahead. The Dwelvers are scrabbling around looking for a crack to squeeze into, and they're like flattening themselves against pillars. Arvia just has murder in her eyes and is starting to march back towards you with her grip on her axe. And you manage to chip the pile loose from the floor and pick it up. And then you're done making sounds. And everything is silent.
unpunished.
Don't say that out loud.
I will.
All right, so this is a heavy thing called what?
Just say black rock marbled with gold.
Is it worth a gold or more?
Probably
I
not.
won't answer that question until we know if you live or not.
This will be the second time Grunrock has got his hands on pyrite.
Arvia is going to pick you up by the collar and just lift you up a whole inch off the ground, because that's about how much taller than you she is. And she's going,
Go ahead. Scream. Let's see what happens.
we never should have brought you on this expedition.
Yeah, well, I got a shiny rock made of shit, so. If trolls come because of your foolishness, I am marching on, and I'm going to leave you behind to fight them off yourself. How do you like that?
I look at her, I lean in, and I just go, Arvia, shh, we have to be quiet.
She's gonna go stomping off ahead. She's like bright red and fuming.
I hold up one. I hold up
Her
one
eyes are
paw
bulging
towards
out of her
Grunrock. I guess I lower one paw towards Grunrock.
Lupendus, who is this like grizzled old veteran, is just leaning on the haft of his axe, like watching to see if everybody's gonna die or not. He's like, the Dwelver's hiding. Arvia goes stomping off ahead, And yeah, you continue on your merry way down this huge hall. It extends on for hundreds of meters, until eventually you reach the far side of it, and there seems to be a huge dark wall up ahead with an arched doorway in it and a staircase leading further down.
No consequences. No consequences.
And Arvia's gonna just lead the way down the staircase first.
I'm still looking around for Velas. Like, what is she? She's so good at hiding.
Meanwhile, she's like behind some other troll crap, just like, guys, where'd you go?
So you head off down deeper, right? And you travel down several flights of stairs that double back to a landing, double back to a landing, double back to a landing, and eventually they open out into just a broad chasm. And it has a much lower ceiling than the one that you were just in. And the prominent features of it are that it is filled with water. There's a lake filling this long, narrow chasm. The ceiling is about 10-15 feet above the surface of the water, and there are pillars, huge black pillars rising up out of the lake and attached to the ceiling. It's just a long, narrow chasm flooded by water. You cannot see to the bottom of the depths, but down a short staircase, there's a dock and a boat and some poles lying on the ground next to it. And Arvi, the Dwelver, says,
"We're going to need to cross, but I should warn you, there's danger here. There is a beast which lurks beneath this lake, and we're going to need to be quiet to not awaken it."
At this point, Arvia is just going to march over to Ralgar and just pin him up against a wall. She just grabs you and just shoves you back into the wall. And she's like, "I am not going on that boat just to get killed by some sort of sea monster. You hear me?"
Harder.
Lupendus puts a hand on her arm and says, "Arvia, maybe we should all calm down a little bit." She's like, "These fools are going to get us killed. This is an important mission. They're not taking it seriously." And he says, "That may well be. But they're here. And what would you have them do? Go back and get eaten by trolls?" And she says, "No problem to me." And he says, "Well, what if we want extra arms when we come up against something further along?" And she says, "You and you." She points at Ralgar and Grunralk. She says, "At the first sign of trouble, I'm throwing you overboard."
That's kind of mean. I can't swim.
"Maybe you better stay behind then."
Okay.
And I'll sit down on the ground.
No. Get up. Grunrock is the best fighter here. All of you included. Alright? I know he's a little loud sometimes. He's a great fighter. It's good to have around. And he's just trying to make us a little bit of money. Because, quite frankly, we've not, made a lot here. It's not been as lucrative as we were hoping when we first arrived. And now we've been pulled into dwarven side plot nonsense. We're just trying to sell stuff. He's not a dwarf. Why should he care about your dwarven politics?
Yeah, not to mention, it's not like you had a lot of other people standing in line to come down here. Like, we got our methods. Just chill. Calm down.
Lupendus, who's halfway down the staircase, shouts back up and says, "There's 2 rafts anyway."
Yeah, you guys can be on the other raft.
I'll only go if she holds my hand.
And I'll wink at her and jump up to my feet and slappy goblin feet down the stairs after Lupinus.
And I just go wandering after Grunrock, and I'm going, hey, wait, no, I smelled her first. Would this be a good place to set up camp for a little bit? Because that fight really tired me out. Here, I'll ask his Ragnar. Hey, guys, do you think we should maybe have a nap before we get in those boats?
She looks at the dwellers, and RV says, "The creature can't really leave the water, so I suppose you're fine here. Just make your way across when you're ready. I tell you what." And he turns to Ragnar, who nods, and he says, "We're going to go through the cracks. We don't like crossing the river. But we will leave you some tools and meet you on the other side."
Anything you can tell us about this lake monster if we come across it?
Well, it eats everything, and it's got great square pupils in its eyes and long tentacles. It's reddish in hue, and it's lived down here for generations, growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
Fascinating. Thank you for the input.
Can any of us roll lore to see if maybe we've heard about
Sure,
a creature that's lived in a mountain?
sure.
Yeah, I asked. I guess I'll roll. Let's see what happens there.
I just did the same roll.
Did I do it? Oh. Did I do it? I didn't do it.
Grunrock and I opened the same book.
From their description, it sounds like some sort of giant squid or kraken to you. And they haven't given you specifics on how big it is, but you've heard of such things living in oceans and attacking sailing ships. You've never heard a tale of one living underground in cave water.
I wonder if it was like the pet of like one of the former dwarven kings, and as they built up higher and higher, like the fish tank fell into here.
Oh, yeah, or maybe there was a dwarven a chef that was cooking a whole bunch of squids, and he dropped one in a puddle, and then the puddle became this lake.
I don't know how the puddle would just become a lake, but I like the chef idea. I wonder if it tastes any good, if it is a giant squid.
Oh, I bet it's delicious.
I'm gonna start setting up camp.
Okay.
Groundwater and ice melts wake me up when it's my turn to watch.
This seems like a reasonable enough place to camp from what you can see, because there's a landing that's raised far up from the lake that overlooks it at the top of the staircase down. And other than that, there appear to be no other major passages. Rengmar is going to come up to Vergello, who seems to be acting the most responsible here. Knock on wood. And he reaches down and he says, "Here." And he hands you a little cloth pouch that's a bit smelly. And it's a little pouch about yay big, and it feels like it has 2 balls in it.
Thank you.
They're pretty heavy.
What are these?
Have a look. Open it up. You need a torch to operate them, but they are little... what is it in your tongue? Little go-booms. You light the end and you throw it, and they'll go even in water. They're sealed to go boom in the water. I don't know if they will handle the beast, but they might help if you need them.
It's good to have these in my back pocket. Thank you.
Don't let them near them.
I
Points
won't
at the
even tell them about
troublemakers.
them. I won't even tell them about them.
If you make it to other side, keep them.
Oh, Well, thank you for the gift.
He nods, and then he awkwardly scrambles backwards until his back is up against the wall, and then he disappears into a crack. The last thing you see is his eyes bulging out and flattening as he goes backwards.
That's probably the best exit I've ever seen. I wish I could mimic it.
And RV, the other one, says, "Sorry, I know that can be upsetting to you surface types. So we try to give you warning. I'm going to go in the crack now." It's just as disturbing when he goes.
Amazing.
And they are gone, leaving you, Lupendus, and Arvia here. You can now take a quarter day. You have had a quarter day of travel, which was morning, and then daytime is going to be your quarter day of rest here. So you set up camp.
Should we need to roll to set up camp?
Um,
Or are we just resting? If we're just resting, we don't have to camp.
yeah. You do not need to make any rolls to set up camp here. It's a protected and isolated place, and there's nothing that's going to come along and bother you. And you don't need shelter against the elements either, because you are indoors. So no camp roll needed. You can spend the quarter day resting.
I will do that to get my agility back.
Okay. Everybody can recover their lost attribute points if you wish. If you don't want to rest or do that, you can theoretically do other things. Just let me know if you do.
Oh, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. So, Arvia is sharpening her axe, leaning her head back against a old crumbled statue. She's like, "Have you thought about what kind of beast might be down there?"
Probably just some mutated troll.
Or some giant dwarf gone crazy.
Do you mean like down there in the water, or like the other one?
I mean the real one. I mean the one we're coming down here to deal with.
Well, no. Do you know anything about it? Do either of you know?
I've got my
We didn't
suspicions.
really ask many questions. Do tell.
Oh, you're interested to talk to me, huh?
Yeah, like all the time. You just, I gotta be quiet again. You told me I couldn't talk anymore.
I happen to be on a holy quest. Something you would scarcely understand, but
I've had a few holes in me during this quest. They hurt.
A holy quest, you say?
yes. I am seeking a long-lost relic of my people, the hammer Skarn's Bane. They say it was used by my ancestor, Oromund, to slay the great dragon Skarn in ancient times. And it's been lost for generations, and no one knows where it is.
Why do you want it? What are you gonna do with it?
I would like to wield it in a great crusade to retake the lost stronghold of Vond from the bastard sorcerer Zyterra and his wicked minions.
Zygofer.
Zyterra.
Zygofer.
What do you know about it?
We saw him.
You saw
We've had-
Zygofer.
We've totally had this conversation.
So, you think the hammer's down here?
It could be. I don't know. I know that it was used to slay a great beast, and I know that there's a great beast imprisoned down here. Perhaps it's the undead corpse of Skarn. Perhaps it's one of its offspring. I don't know.
Maybe some foolhardy dwarf came down here with a hammer and died.
Could be. Whatever it is, The legends of it have been lost to the history of the fools on the surface. You know the Canides, they used to bow to my clan. Yes. Before we fell from glory when Vond was taken from us by those treacherous humans. We'll have our day. We will return to our former glory.
Well, I hope you do. For now.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Okay, so let's say that your hammer is down here. And let's say that it was brought down here by someone from your clan. If they came down here, they had to give up their clan, which means the hammer isn't part of your clan anymore, right? So can I have it?
You cannot have Skarn's Bane, fool. Why are you laughing?
You're so easy to make angry.
Ralgar,
like your
try
little
not
smile.
to infuriate our allies as best you can.
Oh, fine. Just, you young folks, you just don't know how to live anymore.
Buddy, I'm pretty sure now you're younger than, well, definitely him.
And I'll point at the male dwarf whose name I can't remember for whatever reason. Starts with a-
Lupendus.
Lupendus, that one.
Yeah, he's just in the corner, like, watching, sort of amused.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to have a lot more fun this time around.
So you don't have any idea of what this great beast might be?
Whatever it is, it was kept a secret. Because not even the surface dwarves know about it, and they've been living on top of it for generations. Something they wish not to talk about. Perhaps something too terrible. Perhaps something they wish not to be disturbed. Who knows? I have my suspicions.
Why would they keep that a secret, though? That sounds terrifying.
Well,
I
it's
mean, they
gotta
might
be
keep it
something.
a-
Find out.
They might
gotta
keep it a
be
secret if it was a failed escapade, if the beast was never slain.
Well,
It's gotta
that
be
is
something
heresy.
people know about.
My ancestors slew Skarn.
Well, not to speak ill of your ancestors and your dwarven traditions, but building a mountain to the heavens feels like a awfully boring way to live in general. And the fact that anyone gets excised from their clan to come down here, so no one would try and help their ancestors for fear of being ostracized, it feels like heresy is starting to feel like the way to go here. But I don't want to, speak ill of your ancestors.
And you
I
won't
just know
again. I'll forgive your foolishness on account of your human blood. It's understandable. But
Of course.
Which ancestors are we speaking heresy about? Is it the ones who are going down to sea, or is it the ancestors who lived up above that were going up?
we're talking about
She's-
ancestors that lived generations ago that slew the dragon.
Scar's Bane.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I wonder if this great beast is just some other demon we have to slay.
Could be. But I believe we could do it. I believe I could do it.
I'm sure we can. After killing a demon and, Terramalda.
I heard about this. You know that she was an icon of the Church of Rust and that they serve Zytera in Vond. The
Yeah.
Rust Prince Kartorda, who leads their church, the Prince of Two Faces, he reports regularly to the Holdfast of Vond. Him, Marigal, Chrysilla, all of the lieutenants of Zytera.
Sorry, what were those names again?
Well, there's the Rust Prince Kartorda, there is the Demon Prince Chrysilla, and there's the Deceiver Marigal.
Yeah, that sounds about Marigal, the Deceiver. That kind of tracks.
You know about him. If you ever cross his path, do not trust him.
We might need to go back up those stairs now.
Why is
We've
that?
crossed this path a dozen times, probably.
I would say
Like-
he's crossed our paths.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really actively searched for him, but
We saw him half a day's walk from your big city, so
yeah.
That is concerning. But they say he has the ability to travel quickly from place to place, but wherever he goes, discord and suffering are sown in his wake. He is a
Yep.
demon through and through, summoned from the great demonic nexus in the Holdfast by Zytera himself, one of his most trusted servants, although even for his master to trust him, I suspect, is folly, for he is one of the most dangerous beings to walk these lands.
Wait, do you guys think Marigal was the one who hatched that whole dragon egg hatching thing in Amber's Peak? We saw
I
him.
don't know. Zygofer seemed really excited about it.
Lupendus in the background is just going on this whole conversation. Dragon egg.
Do you guys think Marigold will actually do the exorcism for us, or is it all just a trick?
No, I think he'll do the exorcism for us.
Can a demon do an exorcism?
Can a demon not do it? Can you not think of someone better than a demon to do an exorcism?
I mean, they know how to get in. They have to know how to get out.
Quickest in and out in this side of the forest.
That's what she said.
Not me, personally. We've not done that.
Okay. How are we gonna get all these supplies across the lake? Like, don't we have all these wagons?
There's 2 large rafts, and one of the rafts can hold the supplies and a couple of people. The other raft can hold the rest of the people.
Okay, I just hadn't looked at the rafts yet. They look big enough.
It sounds like Raugar's doing baby talk.
Yeah, he always does. He's a puppy
He's a
now.
little baby puppy.
I don't think that would change the way that you speak. Also, you're like a young adult. You're not like a puppy.
Okay, first things first, Vogello. I swear, if you keep commenting on how I talk in front of her, I'm gonna have to fight you.
I don't. Are you guys gonna take? I look at the 2 dwarves. Are you guys gonna take the supplies on one raft?
She says, I think it's probably wise. If those are entrusted to us, yes. She
Okay.
says there are 2 ways we can go about this. One is that we go far ahead of you. The other is that we go far behind you. Because I'm not going to have you calling down a monster upon us. I don't trust
Yeah,
that one or that one. You know who she's pointing at.
Ideally, we don't summon a monster of any form. I like the idea of you guys going first and us waiting a little bit. If something does happen and you guys incidentally summon this beast creature, we can at least try and catch up and aid you for whatever good that would do.
She says another way of thinking about this is we send you first so that if the beast is waiting, the supplies are fine. And someone gets through this quest in one piece.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. I can only deal with 2 different personality types so much, and I'm about at my wit's end. So, you guys ready to just hop on this raft? Good luck, by the way, if the monster attacks you, because there's no way we can come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm pretty well rested, I think.
Oh, baby, welcome, ready to go.
Lupendus walks down to the shore to prepare things. He's checking the rafts. He thinks they seem sturdy enough. You're gonna have to push the supply sled onto one of them. There are 2 long poles lying on the ground, not paddles, and they have metal hooks on them. And he holds his torch out and gestures up, and he says, "Look, large metal rings on the ceiling, evenly spaced all the way across the lake. I believe we grab them with the pole to pull ourselves along. No paddling, no disturbing the waters. Right?"
Right. Thank you, Lupendus. Honestly, I probably would have never seen that.
Quick question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
Is this all flat? Is there any, like, is the ground all flat, or is there any kind of, like, higher point to, like, look out over the lake? before we start our?
You can go up the little staircase and be on the landing where you rested for camp and look out over the lake. Yeah,
Okay, I would like to.
it's
do
very dark
that.
though.
Oh,
The waters just look black. There's no natural glow to this cave, and torchlight is your only light source, really.
okay. Okie doke. I was going to try and see if I saw anything.
All right, about halfway across the lake, I'm gonna pull out my fishing net.
Sounds great.
Let's go for some calamari tonight, boys.
You're gonna need so many successes.
Army, it's supposed to be massive. I feel like we should be able to catch it in this net really well.
67 units of fish. Congratulations.
If I fail and we have to kill this thing by hand, like, you know, give me that stupid crown. I swear, if you do not give me the instructions to make a fishing net.
Uh-huh. All right. All right. Here's the situation. Somebody needs to be the person to manage the pole and maneuver the cart by grabbing the rings. They're going to have to hook onto the rings and pull quietly without clanging against the rings. They are going to have to hook onto each one in succession without getting the boat tipped or spinning. They're going to have to not drop the pole and manage this whole process effectively. And that is going to be a stealth check on behalf of whoever you entrust it to be the most dexterous and skilled in doing manual things without making noise.
I mean, on a scale of 0 to I don't know how high, I would say I'm like a 7.
Yeah, it's not a question for me, so pretty sure you're the stealthiest.
Well, right on.
Does anyone want to assist her in any way? Like, you know,
Yeah, but,
spot her?
like to my sister, like every time, she's like, shh.
One
I
person
need
could
that kind of-
assist and be a spotter.
Careful, Velas! Careful, Velas!
To give her an extra die, you would be there to catch the pole if she loses her grip, help to whisper things to her on how she's doing and how the boat's aligned and all that fun stuff.
So add an extra to my skill.
Who's gonna do it, though?
Not me.
I shall rise to the occasion.
Do we want to keep our fighter, like, ready to hack tentacles?
No offense, but I kind of feel like it should be Ralgar.
Fine, I won't swing my big ol' axe at some tentacles.
I would rather the guy with the big scimitar who's good at hitting things to swing.
Or
Why
our
did you
archer.
hit him? Oh yeah, you're an archer.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
On the other raft, you
fine,
see
I'll
Arvia.
assist.
You see Arvia and Lupendus getting oriented and getting it pulled into the water, and you can tell that they're not particularly good at this, but she is the one taking the lead, and he's being a spotter to her. They're going to get 4 dice between them.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus. Is anyone else good at stealth and maybe wants to get on their boat?
Nope.
I'm not.
You know, it's hard to say, but on a scale of 0 to 100, I'd probably say like I'm about a 3.
I'm a 4.
I can do it.
Are you better than them at it?
Yeah.
You want to walk over there and jump on their raft?
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing? Get away from these supplies.
What are you shushing me for? Shh. Disrespectful little.
I'm gonna jump up and like the quietest she's ever seen me move, I'm just gonna grab the pole.
What are you doing? You.
Lupendus, who has just watched her clumsily trying to get the first ring in grip, just taps her on the shoulder and goes, and points at the other raft. Tells her to go over with them. She's like,
Fine. Fine. Let the little goblin be responsible for all the supplies. That's fine.
all right. You're in charge of the first raft, my friend.
I thought they were taking front.
Oh, the party's going first. That's right. That's right. You're the back raft.
When she gets on our boat, I just whisper, "I'm so happy to see you."
Like I said, overboard.
She's just gonna stand on the back of the raft, eyeing the water, paranoid, and grabbing the haft of her axe, just ready to strike.
So I'm adding an extra dice to skill, right?
Yeah, so let's get this straight here. Velas does not have a weapon in hand because you are operating the pole.
I've got the pole, baby. I'm
Arvia
gonna
is
swing
like
the
ready
pole.
to strike with her axe and watching the water like a hawk. Grunrock also tied up with the pole. Our two best melee people are tied up handling poles, but that's how it goes. So probably Ralgar would be the light source holder, unless you guys say otherwise.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, yeah, I've. It's not that I'm holding it. I mean, surely there's a place that I can like stick the torch.
Sure, that's fine. Stick a torch on the raft. And so Ralgar and Vergello, you can have weapons drawn if you wish.
I'm spotting Velas, so I've got to keep my weapon on my back.
That's right. Okay.
Rules question: would I have to like spend a turn to like, as action economy wise, would I have to like spend a turn to pull out one of the bombs and then light the bomb, and that would be my turn?
And then just hold it in your hand, sizzling while the whole
That's
turn
what
goes by.
If you have
I'm
both
asking. That's
hands
what I'm
free,
asking.
if you have both hands free and you stand still, you can fast action, pull it out and light it. Slow action, throw it, and that's your full turn.
Okay, then I will be prepared to do that.
Okay. All right. So, shall we? No
I think
tension.
we
No
shall.
tension at all. Let's
Terrified.
get a stealth roll for the front boat with that +1. You get one
Success.
You hook on. There's little splashes as you are pulling the way through the water. Your arms are going to get very tired very quickly.
I'm
you-
strong as an ox. I
Uh-huh.
got 4 strength.
Well, that's a good thing because that'll make your endurance roll easier in a minute. Everybody else, on the second, you see that raft just starting to disappear into the darkness up ahead. You just see that little blip of light slowly fading off into the distance, and it's time for you to go on after them. Grunralk, you want to make that stealth roll with a +1 for assistance? 2 successes. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. You are
I'm
pulling
getting
your
a
way
plus
along.
one?
Huh?
Who's helping me? Is Lupindus helping me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got it anyway. Additional successes won't do anything. So, you're all pulling your way along. This is a long lake, and it's a lot of rings. It's dozens of rings, and the boat is heavy, and it's a lot of pulling. You each need to make an endurance roll using your endurance skill. If you fail it, the penalty is that you have to make another stealth roll because your arms start to shake. You start to get tired and clumsy. If you succeed, you keep up this quality of work all the way across safely.
And we don't get any bonuses to our endurance.
This does not get bonuses from assistance, no. This
Okay.
is purely how long can you keep this up. You succeed. Raft number 2. Let's get an endurance roll. Beautiful. For a moment, you think you see a huge shadow. Dozens of feet across, move beneath the surface of the water, but then you're not sure if it was just a figment of your imagination or not. But you make it across the lake, and you never see anything pop up at all.
We only had to do it once. That's surprising but wonderful.
Well, we got to come back somehow.
You both succeeded on stealth, and you both succeeded on endurance to keep it up the entire way across.
As soon as we get everything across, I'm standing there. I'm waiting for Ralgar. When he finishes, I'm like, just bump, just bump.
Well done, well done. All right. Let's see. I didn't think you'd survive this far. One sec.
Same.
Welcome to casual gaming with our crew. We tend to stop and go hat shopping or spontaneously die.
I go over to Grunrock. I'm like, that was harder to run up those stairs than it seemed like it was to pull yourself away across that. You did so good, friend.
You're just beaming over there.
Thank you.
So happy.
Go team.
I just want to give a silent nod to the lady who's been like berating us the whole time. Because what better way to be like, yeah, we're stupid and funny, but also we got this.
And as he gives that silent nod, I turn around and I go, that nod means that we're stupid and we're funny, but also that we got this.
All right, you make your way down another winding staircase that doubles back and doubles back and doubles back, and you arrive in. Elric says Pathfinder modules used to have elasmosauruses in nearly every body of water. That's because Pathfinder modules have nothing but endless monsters forever. It's just like 50 combats in a row.
A nice little town well. Wait, what is that?
On the upside, the combat in Pathfinder is more fun, so I'll take it. But yeah, those adventure paths, I've run a bunch of them, and they are so packed full of combats. It's like, oh my god, can we do something other than fight 100 monsters in a row? All right, so you come to another broad chasm that much resembles the previous one. A staircase that doubles down to the shores of a hole. Because this is another vast lake with pillars descending into darkness, but this one has been drained because it looks like an earthquake has split the chasm, and there is a huge crack running through it, and the water has drained out of it. There are, once again, metal rings in the ceiling, and there is a rope draped through them, running all the way from the far end back to you.
Where do you think the Kraken went when this thing... Or do you think there was just one?
I hope there was just one.
Oh man, Vergella, what if he just like...
Oh, just like suctioned up to the ceiling.
Yeah, like something out of Greek mythology.
Oh,
That'd be
jeez.
nuts.
What, Josh,
Mm-hmm.
did the jelly dwarves meet us on the other side of that lake, or are they meeting us on the other side of all of this?
They have
Like,
not
do we have the
turned up
jelly
yet.
dwarves? Okay, so the jelly dwarves aren't here with us.
Right.
Is the jelly dwarf in the room now?
No. He's a jam dwarf anyway. Definitely jam after seeing him
Jam
back
dwarf.
up into the wall. Much more
I think I
jam-like.
saw preserves.
You saw some preserves for sure, just before he disappeared.
I want to reach and like, is any of the rope grabbable from where we are?
Yeah.
Is there any rope dangling? I want to just give it a slight tug and see if there's any immediate give to it or if it feels tight.
It feels pretty tight because it's a heavy rope and it's ridiculously long and it extends just beyond where you can see.
But how are we supposed to get the supplies across?
Yeah, what is the implication here? We're supposed to attach the raft to the rope? Where are these damn dwarves?
Lupendus is looking down going, oh dear. I don't know. He says we could hand over hand climb, but then what happens to the supplies? He says it's a bit sloped down into where the lake used to be, but it's a long way down.
Is it like, I mean, you say it's sloped, but we could like walk down there. It's not just
Yeah,
like a drop.
If you slide
Okay.
if you slide the sled of supplies down, it's gonna get going pretty fast before it hits whatever's at the bottom.
It has brakes,
It does
but
have
we
brakes.
probably
Oh,
won't be
yeah.
able to get it back up.
It'll be hard to get it back up.
We'll have to get it up the
Is
other
there
side.
a way to attach a... Is there a raft here?
It looks like way down at the bottom, there's two rafts sitting way down at the bottom. You can just make out the shapes of them at the bottom of this huge sloped hill.
Does it... Do we think that with some extra rope, we could attach the cart? Like, on rope to the other rope? And then just... Like,
I
pulley it
can't-
across?
I can't functionally see how that would work, because if the rope up there is going between each loop,
It's not like a pulley system?
is it?
Draw a picture. If you want.
Here's what I'm thinking. Why is that rope here? Because there wasn't a rope in the last ones. Maybe I should try to pull harder. I'm gonna try to pull it harder, and I want to give that rope like a hard tug and see if there's any give to it.
It seems thoroughly secure to you.
Nope. Can't.
That's
pull
what
it.
I was. That's what I was.
Oops,
well,
sorry.
Josh just deleted it, so
there it
that's
is.
what I was imagining.
Yeah, it's basically that. Except you can't see the far side of it, and it seems to not give when Ralgar pulls on it.
So it's not that there's a rope running through each one. It's like
It's
knotted
a
off
rope
and
running
tied.
through all the rings.
But it is not being. At some place, it must be knotted or caught.
Yeah.
Because whenever Ralgar pulls on it, nothing happens.
Yeah. It's also an extremely long, extremely heavy rope, and so the weight of a single wolfkin is not gonna move it, even if it's, regardless of what state it's in.
Way to remind me that I lost my entire pack.
Is it at a length that we could tie it to the supplies?
You could. There's enough length of rope available to tie it to the supplies. It's lying in a heap here on this end.
What if we tie it to the supplies and hope that the heft of the rope will slow the pull of the supplies going down? You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, like, a couple of us could get in front of the cart and just try and put our backs on it and go heel
I'm
first.
pretty
I'm
steep.
I'm assuming it's really steep and really heavy, and that risks someone getting really injured.
The carts have magical brakes. It's getting the carts back up the other side that's the issue.
Well, I don't know if I want to entirely trust the magical brakes when we get to the. I know what you're saying. I don't know if I just want to 100% trust the magical brakes. But you're right. Once we get back.
Oh,
up to the
I
other
don't mean like let them slide and then crank the brakes on. I mean like use the brakes to control
Just,
the descent the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we might see what's stopping this rope and maybe use it as a pulley system to get to the other side. But either way, we need to get them down now.
So should we scout the other side out first and then come back? Nothing to lose.
Well, maybe the supplies. At that point, if we're going down, either way the supplies have to go down there. So we may as well just go down there.
Someone give me a boost.
Push.
Describe what you're doing. You're going hand over hand. climbing the
No,
ropes.
do not do that. How far of a drop is this? From
It
the
is a-
ceiling to the bottom of the lake.
It is a long drop.
I immediately grab Grunrock off of the rope. Do not do that. Let's just take the slope down with the supplies and go across. We're gonna have to go across either way. There's no way we're bringing the supplies across the ceiling.
I didn't necessarily think that we were going to take them across the ceiling, but I have the best chance of getting over to see what's on the other side.
I believe you, and one misstep or misgrab puts you all the way splat at the bottom of an empty lake. I do not want you to die.
I mean, we could just walk down there and across to the other side, and then if we find something that might help us, that's good. And if we don't, we can just come back and walk up the slope.
I say we just go down now.
And you want to take the supplies? Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
May as well.
Armia, what do you think?
I think it's the best we can do. Take the supplies down, drag them across, try to find a way up the other side. If someone wants to scout ahead and make sure we're not just headed for a hopeless dead end. But other than that, we're going to have to get across, and I don't see the supplies getting across those ropes at the top.
I mean, if there's a dead end down there, we are at a dead end here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, sounds good. Let's go.
let's go.
All right. So, describe how you get the supplies down.
I trust the magical brake to slowly slow the descent of
It's
it
not a
as
magical
it's
break,
going
it's just
down.
a spike. You pull up a lever and it drops a row of spikes into the ground that drag, and you can control the amount of friction by just pulling back. Super rudimentary brakes. Because the sled is enchanted to be super slippery, and the brakes just lower spikes that lift it up off of that. So, so you're just gonna lean hard on the brakes and scrape your way all
Are
the way
we-
down.
We're not tying the rope?
I want to tie the rope to it.
Okay.
Just for the length.
Sure. You want to tie a rope to it? All right.
Yeah.
You lower down, down. You go down probably about 40 or 50 feet down a steep incline that would be some serious work to go up or down because it's fairly smooth. And It takes a lot of arm strength the whole way down to keep dragging it because it's fighting to pull you forwards, but you manage to hold it and drag, scraping noisily all the way down to the bottom, at which point you hear and you realize that the bottom of this lake is like thick, deep mud sludge, and the sled hits the top of it and bobs a little bit and sits on top of the mud.
I lift the brake up.
It doesn't sink, but it's resting on top of thick mud.
Are the poles anywhere near the rafts? I assume we kind of fell near the rafts.
There are rafts, and one of them has a pole intact sitting on top of it. It's too far down to reach the rings from here, though.
Right, but I
I'm to
assume
do
maybe
some
pushing from the
punting.
bottom
Yeah.
is. I'll grab the pole, and does it like touch the bottom at all?
Yeah. It seems like the mud here on one of you tall people would come up to like chest height. It's just like thick, sloppy mud, and for the short people, you pretty much have to be on a raft above it, because otherwise it would be over your head unless you want to just swim through it.
Oh, I'm on a raft. I don't want this stuff in my fur.
Or climb across the ropes on the top. Yeah, so Lupendus and Arvia are both looking around. Lupendus is like, well, knowing that there's mud to soften the fall, I guess climbing would have been an option, but at this point...
That doesn't seem like a very good option, taken from someone who's fallen off a... How high would you have said that bridge was? 25, 30 feet? It's not comforting. Right. I landed in a nice soft bush.
Oh, that one. I was thinking about you jumping into the river in
Oh, no. I landed in a river then.
You've fallen from a lot of heights.
You've fallen a lot.
I didn't. I've only fallen once. I jumped off of that mountain into the river.
Who's going to be responsible for hauling this thing across?
Well, they're punting, aren't they? I guess McCalla and I will walk on either side of it.
Oh, you're just going to walk on either side and drag it?
Well, can we not use the raft and then like tie the...
You do it however you want.
Can we not tie the sled to the raft and just punt from the raft?
What do you mean?
Oh, the raft isn't frictionless like our sleds are.
Yeah. I mean, putting it on, it's already buoyant. So,
can we ride the supplies?
If too many people get on it, it starts to sink in the mud. When a couple people get on it, it starts to tip and stuff. So.
Of course.
I don't mind walking.
Who knows what's living in this mud?
It's fine. It's an experience. It's a nice facial.
Gross. I do not want to be in that mud. I'll be punting from the supplies.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
And we've roped them all together. Somehow you're moving all of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many sleds of supplies are there? Is there 2 sleds?
There's
1 sled.
2 sleds.
I thought there was
two.
2
There's
sleds.
2. There's 2. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
It's gonna be
Just
slow going, but the tall people can each pull one of them. You're gonna have to make multiple endurance rolls.
Can we tie them together?
You could tie them together in a train and pull it all yourselves side by side, if that's what you want to do. You can also get help from people up on top using the poles to kind of push along.
I think the only one walking through the mud is me. Like everyone else is on a raft or the sled.
You've got one.
I can walk through the mud with you.
Okay.
But you're helping me clean my fur after this.
Ralgar's up to like chin height on you. It's almost too deep for you. You're just like...
I have no idea. I just assumed the wolfkin was bigger than a human.
I'm not a human.
You're shorter than a human, but you're not as short as a goblin or a dwarf, so...
Am I the tallest one here?
Probably. No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have a height written down. Oh yeah, I do. It says taller than Veloz.
Ah.
All right. So who's in front pulling stuff?
I'll be in front pulling.
I'll help.
Okay, Ralgar and Veloz are in front pulling. All all of the other 4 are standing 2 to each raft. More than that would cause them to start to sink. And 1 person can be helping along with a pole to push things if you want.
Yeah, that's
Probably
what I'm
Hank.
doing.
You should probably be on the front
Well,
raft to
Does it
Is it
pushing.
gonna
Yeah.
require endurance?
is that giving a bonus to them, or
Yeah.
is it an endurance
If you push
roll?
along with the pole, you'll give both of them bonuses
Okay.
on their what is it?
You're
might?
you're stronger than me, Grunrock. Here you go.
I'll do it.
Oh, is it might or is it endurance? Oh, it doesn't matter.
It's
4
might
from
to
the-
pull the sleds.
Endurance to keep doing it.
Sort of like before, but it's might endurance instead of stealth endurance. So, you pullers roll your might rolls, and the person helping with a pull roll might as well. And we're totaling up how many successes you get to see if you can pull through. That is 2 total successes, and go ahead and add yours in for Gello.
Oh no,
wait,
Grunrock has the ball.
Oh, Grunrock has the pull. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead, Grunrock.
I thought that we got a bonus from them. If that is not the case, then I only have 1 success.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he gives a bonus. So
That still
Ralgar would
equates
get
to
1
two
extra.
It's
successes.
2 regardless, but
Yeah.
Ralgar gets
Oh,
one extra.
Ralgar gets 1 extra.
2 successes is what you need to make forward progress with the 2 rafts, so you got it.
Okay.
It's slow, and it's brutal. Your arms are killing you as you're scraping your way along, and you can tell that you're going to be exhausted and weakened by the end of this, because it is a ton of work moving these 2 sleds through the mud. But you are pressing along, dragging and trudging and dragging and trudging, when suddenly, up ahead from in the mud, there's a bubbling, and a tentacle bursts out ahead of you from the mud, and then another, and another, and another, and another. And we're going to roll initiative as a giant monster emerges from the mud and begins lashing about. Draw initiative, not roll initiative. And a giant mud-covered monstrosity emerges from the mud to confront you. So,
For the record, I was joking.
all right. I'm going to go top to bottom here in the camera order. So we're starting with the loss. You're going on 5. Gwenralk, you're going on 7. For Gello, you're going on 9. Ralgar,
I'm going on 10.
unreal.
Oh my
And
goodness.
The monster gets
going on
a
2.
whopping 8, which means half the party's going before it. I'm also drawing 1 card for Arvia and friend Lupendus.
Start of a
They're going
start
first.
initiative. Does anyone want to swap with the guy who has the bombs?
I'll swap with the guy who's got bombs. You're right next to me. You're punting. Do we get
Arvia
a
went
chance-
on 3, and she will swap. This is not normally a thing that can happen, but she will swap with who's holding the pole?
Grunrock.
Grenrock. And you're going on 7. Arvia will swap with you, grab the pole from your hands because she can't go in the mud, and she's pissed off and wants to get into the fight. So she'll grab the pole out of your hands, take the pole, and start pushing it forwards because she can't do anything else on her turn. And so she's gonna make a might roll to try to move the thing forwards. I guess this isn't an initiative swap because she's still spending her turn on 3 to try to get the sled closer.
Sorry.
She's gonna push it closer. Sorry, go ahead.
Quick question: was there any opportunity to see or hear this happening, or did it get the jump on us?
It got the jump on you.
Okay.
It was completely concealed by the mud, and any route that you took through the mud, it was going to burst out. It doesn't get a surprise attack on you because it has to burst up and look around for you to see you. So it's not getting like a free round or anything, but we're just going to a straight initiative roll as it bursts up.
You gonna dive into the mud, Ames?
Well,
Go
I
on,
mean, I
Navy
would
SEAL.
like to. I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Are there any initiative swaps happening?
Yes.
Who's
Ames.
swapping?
Yeah. I'll
Veloz
swap
and
with the guy holding the bombs.
If you don't want to, I will. If you don't
Well,
want to, I will.
yeah. Well, hang on. Grunrock can't even get in the mud.
Yeah, you take it, man. You got it.
Yeah,
I'll go on. I'll go on 9.
Yeah, me and Grunrock will swap.
Okay. Right. So Grunrock is now going on 9, and Fergello's now going on 7?
7,
All right,
yeah.
got it. Okay, so Arvia is going to move up and grab the pole out of your hands and say, "Give me that, we have to get in there!" And she's just going to might roll, try to push this thing forwards to close the gap into arm's reach of the tentacles. And, 1 sec. There's her stats, got it. This is
So we're close
6
range
dice.
to it right now.
You are 1 step past arm's reach, whatever that
Okay.
is.
Got it.
Arvia rolls might. She gets 1 success. That is enough to close to... She needed 2 successes to get all the way to arm's reach with it, but she gets now to where the edge of the raft is level with the people that were pulling it. So everybody is now 1 step outside of arm's reach with the thing, including the people on the raft.
Our arms or its arms?
Your arms. Talking about melee range for you people. And Lupendus is standing at the ready with his axe drawn, ready to fight. He's right up at the edge of it, just ready to fight. He might actually... You know what? He's going to make a running jump
Oh my goodness.
into the mud. He's throwing himself into it. He's going to make a running jump into the mud, let out a battle cry, and just go full swinging at the thing and hurl himself into the mud to try to reach it. He's going to make a move roll to try to reach it with this jump. And if he succeeds, he'll get a melee attack against it. This is a... All right. He lets out a battle cry, dives with his axe raised above his head, and just disappears into the mud, falling short of reaching it. You just see bubbles coming up. And that is his turn and Arvia's turn. Now we go to initiative 5, which is Velas. You are in the mud.
I am going to try and capitalize on them being loud and this thing still spinning around trying to put eyes on us. And I am going to try and stealth forward because I want to try and get a sneak attack.
Okay. To do that, you'll move to get in arm's reach and stealth and draw your weapon, I guess. So you're passing your turn basically to blub, 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 down into the mud and try to move closer to it and get on it so that you can attack it next round. All right. Go ahead and make a stealth roll. Velas lets go of the rope, pulls out her phantom dagger, and then just goes submarine. Blub, 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 blub,
I'm going to
blub.
push it.
Go for it.
Did it roll?
Uh-oh.
Whew, 2 damages to my agility, but 1 success.
Yep. All right. Velas blub blub blubs down into the sludge, getting 1 success on that stealth check. It remains to be seen whether that is sufficient, but you vanish to the sight of all of your friends. And then it is initiative 7, which is for Gello. Gello?
Question. Is
Yes.
this thing massive enough that if I yeet a fireball at it, I'm not going to hit my friends? Little bomb?
You can throw into the heart of it, and you're pretty sure that Velas has not traveled enough under the mud to... Basically, you're going to make a range attack, and if you succeed, it will get where it wants to go and not hit any of your friends. If you do not succeed, then it might land on your friends.
Is there any kind of bonus given the fact... I'm assuming this thing's large, and that I should be able to hit it easier than I would if I was trying to aim it like a human.
Or
Yeah.
a squirrel.
Is there any kind of like bonus to the attack?
That big old target bonus.
That Pathfinder larger creature bonus?
There's nothing equivalent to that in this. It's just going to be a ranged attack.
Okay.
But I will tell you this. If you get 3 skulls, it will hit an ally. That's 3
Okay.
skulls on the initial roll, or 3 total skulls if you push.
Oof, that's evil. Do I get my sharpshooter any kind of like ranged attack bonuses, or do those only apply to bows?
Is this how
What
it
is
happens?
the
think these
Am I gonna
description?
die in another fireball? In a
I'm
campaign with
reading.
Josh.
Let's read the description of sharpshooter to decide if it applies.
Shoot, that's what I'm checking. For all of them, they say shoot with a ranged weapon. That's what I was just double check. I was asking out loud, not necessarily.
It says shoot with a ranged weapon. I'll let it apply to
Yeah.
this. That's
Hank, for that to happen, he has to like throw it backwards. Because
Oh, if it hits an ally,
Listen,
it's gonna
stranger stuff has happened with me and explosives. Okay.
If it hits an ally, it's going to be a 50-50 between Lupendus and Velas, because they're the 2 that are up in front there.
All right, Josh. The only thing that applies to that specifically says shoot with a ranged weapon says it's the fast shooter one. So it says that I can spend a fast action to shoot with a ranged weapon, so I can shoot twice.
You're already
So
using
the-
your fast attack to light it and
Yeah.
all that, so,
So
I don't think
the-
it's going to do anything for you.
Yeah, no, the sharpshooter one won't do anything because it specifies bow or crossbow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's just a straight up ranged attack roll here. But you're
Marksmanship?
at the ideal range for it, and the thing is pretty big, so no penalties. Yeah,
I'm assuming
marksmanship.
this. Okay, because I'm assuming this counts as a weapon, so it would be.
Yeah, roll marksmanship
Okay.
to see how accurate your throw is. It's the closest applicable skill for this.
Well, I can't push it or someone dies.
All right, you fling it and it overshoots. If you're not going to push it, that means it overshoots, lands in the mud beyond the thing.
shit.
It flies
Shit.
flies between the tentacles, lands somewhere in the mud in the back, and you just see a ripple of mud go up. You've got one more of those.
Okay.
All right. Then we are on to initiative 8, which is ye old big thing. So a couple things gonna happen here, because this thing does a lot of things on its turn, because it has a lot of things attached to it.
Gross.
I know. Each round it uses D3 of its tentacles, counting as a single cumulative slow action for all of them. First, I'm going to have to roll to determine if this thing is aware of Velas. And the answer is absolutely not. It doesn't even get to roll. It's very oblivious. If you succeed on the stealth check, it doesn't know you're coming. It doesn't even have the skill to try to scout for you. But it raises its muddy head up out of the water, and you see mud just dripping down its huge domed head, and it has a big eyeball with a square pupil, which is darting around and looking in every direction. It is a giant squid. It appears to be a giant squid. It is...
Can I do a lore roll to see if it's a giant squid?
You can. But I'm telling
Josh,
you,
I
as
just
the
wanna let
DM,
you know
it,
it doesn't
it
look
looks
like the,
exactly like a giant squid in a mud hole.
It doesn't look
So-
like the screen changed on the stream. They can't see the beautiful art that you've got going on right here.
Oh, really?
What beautiful art? My
So
beautiful
you just
art?
gotta scroll up. So it's focused on Bill's art and
Oh,
not
I
your
didn't even-
wonderful squid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here, I'll zoom it back so we can see everything. Oh yeah, that's great. Give it 6 tentacles, because that's what's going on here. I lost my everything. All right, it's gonna fight with D3 of its tentacles per turn. And this is how many rolls on the random actions table it's going to get. 1 this time. The gods are kind. But how kind? I don't know. Yeah. Drown attack. Here we go. The one it bursts up out and it's lashing around and looking at everybody. On the turn, it's getting its bearings. It's only going to attack with a single tentacle because luck would have it be so. And it's going to use a drown attack on an adventurer within near range, which is going to be Lupendus because he's the one that just plunged into the mud, making tons of noise and ripples. So it's going to grab Lupendus and pull him and try to drown him under the mud. It's going to attack him with 6 base dice, weapon damage 1, and if the attack succeeds, he is grappled and held under until further notice. Yeah. It's going to lash down with a tentacle right on top of where Lupendus disappeared under the mud, and you see it start to wrap and coil and pull him in closer, and he gets pulled above for just a second and then splashed down, and you can tell that he has taken damage and is now held under, and you see just bubbles coming up. He is in danger of drowning and cannot breathe until further notice, and that is the monster's turn. So now it is on to initiative 9, which is Grunrock, right? Can't remember.
Yarp.
Yarp. All right.
We're busy drawing.
I swear.
How far am I from where Lupendus just got dragged under?
You are near range to him and all the tentacles, which means you are not in melee range. You could get there with a move, roll, leap, which would let you make an attack, and then you would be fighting blind in the mud. Or you could close the gap by grabbing a pole and pulling the boat along. Or you can make some kind of range attack by throwing something, or you can do something else. I don't know. But you are not quite in melee range of it because Arvia didn't get enough successes to hoist the boat all the way to it. You're one range increment from being in swing and reach.
Move, roll, leap, and then I'm in the mud.
Yeah.
Basically under mud.
Yes, which means you're holding your breath and fighting at a disadvantage at -2 dice because you're just swinging blind and moving towards the motion.
Or might roll to try to push the whole cart closer.
Yes, if you want to just grab the pole and try to push closer.
I'm going to might roll and try and push both Arvia and I closer.
Okay, sounds good. You grab the pole from her, stick it down into the mud, and hoist it along. If you get at least one success, it'll close the gap, and then anybody on the raft can be in arm's reach of it. Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
There you go. All right. Anybody on the raft who wants to be can be in melee range of it now. And whether they want to be or not, anybody on the raft is in its reach.
Can I still attack, or is that all
No,
my turn?
That's all your turn.
Okay.
All right. Ralgar,
Hello.
you're on the... Oh, you're in the mud with your nose poking up, and you can just barely see.
I want to try to bring my axe down on the tentacle that is drowning
Okay.
old dwarf man.
You can trudge toward him, pull your axe up, and try to swing it down. Go ahead and make a roll.
I will. I'm just gonna find where my
There's
weapon
a minimum
roll is.
amount of damage you have to deal in order to kill a tentacle, so see how you roll. It's not going to make any attempts to dodge or parry. You just get to go in swinging. That is exactly 1 success, right?
Yep.
All right. Which does how much damage?
Yep. That's a good question. I gotta pull up the rule book.
It's a battle axe or some other kind of great axe?
It is a battle axe.
Okay.
And then I also have, let's see, X Fighter rank 2. My attack rolls are modified by a +1 when I fight with an axe. Oh, I forgot to put that on. So let me also roll another
Sure.
d6
Just
for
roll
that.
a d6, yeah.
No, it didn't do anything. And then I also need to look up X Fighter. I didn't pull my rulebook up today, ladies and gentlemen.
It does 2 base damage.
I think it might do 3 with Axe Fighter.
Go ahead and check. We'll see what it does.
I need to find the rulebook again. Do you have the rulebook handy, Josh?
Yeah, hold on.
Can you search the talent Axe Fighter?
Yep.
And look at rank 2. It might say it doesn't apply against monsters, but this thing is humanoid, so...
I like how you turned into a melee character overnight when you de-aged and then trained axe fighter.
And I trained melee.
Your attack rolls get +1 when you fight with an axe. When you hit an enemy with an axe, you inflict at least 1 point of damage. Oh, and inflict at least 1 point of damage. You automatically inflict a critical injury / wound. The critical injury itself doesn't break your opponent unless it kills them, of course. No effect against monsters or animals because they don't roll on the critical injuries table.
You still get a +1 when you fight with an axe, though. That's rank 1.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 3 points of damage then.
No, +1 to the attack roll, not to the damage.
Oh. Yeah.
You do 2 points of damage. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the situation, and you can decide if you want to push or not. It takes... Your character doesn't know these numbers, but you can figure this out from looking at the thing and swinging at it. These tentacles are very thick.
The axe just like...
Its rubbery hide is very thick. It has 4 points of armor, which means it's going to get 4 dice, and any 6s are going to reduce your successes. It takes 3 damage to sever a tentacle. You have so far done 2 damage before the armor roll, but you have to decide if you want to push for more before it gets an armor roll. So do you want to leave it at 2, let it get an armor roll, and just accept that you did some damage?
I gotta let it get an armor roll. I can't push that.
Okay. Yeah, you got a couple of skulls. It looks like it would damage the axe and you. So, yeah. That is reasonable. Armor roll does not reduce the damage at all. You do 2 damage to the tentacle. That tentacle has 1 health left. Alright. Yeah. So you trudged through the mud, you pulled your axe, you swung down on a tentacle, you did 2 damage to it. And now we untap all the initiative cards. It's the beginning of a new round. We are back around. Let's see. The squid thing. He is grappled. Okay. First things first, Lupendus is going to try to get out of this grapple, because that is definitely a thing that's happening. So let me check the rules for that. Grapple 92. Alright. To escape from a grapple, you make a break free, which is a slow action that requires winning an opposed melee roll. Okay. Alright. Lupendus has to make a melee roll here. So that's what he's going to do. It's the only action he can take. Let me check his melee skill. Lupendus gets... Oh, he's really good at this. He gets 8 dice.
Yeah, he is.
This guy's a vet.
He's the best. Someone just put a -2 on one of the tentacles.
Oh, God.
I did.
Oh, how did he miss all of them?
Push it. Push it.
You can't push it.
You can't push it.
He's not important like you. Lupendus, you just see bubbles coming up from the mud. He is fighting for his life and struggling to hold his breath. Arvia, you pulled the raft up to the thing's range. She will swing into it like a mouse.
Like a boss.
She is going to make a roll here. Man, I should have printed out all these stats so I didn't have to jump between pages. They're all in different places. Here we go. Arvia gets a lot of dice. She also has Path of the Blade. Aimee, you have Path of the Blade, right?
I do.
Do you remember what it does?
Yeah, I'm looking. Maybe I don't have Path of the Blade. I thought I did, though. No,
Hi,
I have Path
it's
of the
me.
Killer.
I have Path of the Blade.
Oh, what does Path of the Blade do?
Rank 1, when you hit with a close combat attack, you can spend willpower to find a weakness in your opponent's armor or natural armor. The armor has no effect. Rank 2, once you have used all your actions in a round, you can spend a willpower to attack 1 more time in close combat.
Okay.
Can only be used once per round. And 3, if you need 3, I can read it.
Okay. I'm good. She has a willpower point to spend on this. It's a GM discretion thing, and she's on a holy quest that she thinks is part of her main plot, so she'll spend a willpower on this if it comes up. But it's not going to affect the base roll, so she is going to go ahead and swing. This is going to be 11 dice. She has 3 successes plus the base damage.
Oh my god, she got 6 skulls.
She did. And then Path
She
of the
can
Blade.
she can up the damage with rank 3 if she has rank 3.
Okay. Increase the damage by 1. You must state how many to use before they roll for armor. Yeah, she'll use 1. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She does 6 damage, which is enough to sever 2 tentacles in a single swing. She's going to get up close to the thing and just swing in a huge arc and try to chop off 2 tentacles at the same time. If it succeeds on any of its armor dice, then one of the tentacles will survive. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. So she did 6 damage reduced by 3, which is 3. So she is going to sever the tentacle that's holding Lupendus under and then do 2 damage to another one in a big arc. She does 3 total damage to it after armor reduction. Man, her and the squid both rolling hot. And, yeah. She's cursing under her breath while just swinging into its bulk and does a total of 3 damage to it. Is that the first damage the squid has taken?
No, Adam hit it.
That's right. It's taken
Adam
5 total.
Adam did 2 damage to
Alright.
it. Yeah.
It's got some significant injuries. It's lost a tentacle. It's got another one that's pretty badly damaged and has a slash wound across it. And then we are on to initiative 5, which is
Going
yeah.
to
We're keeping track of all the
burst
damage. and
out
stuff.
of the mud, and I'm gonna sneak attack this thing.
You going for the tentacles or you going for the body?
Going for the body. So that's 3 successes
Oof, nice one.
at a base damage of 2, so that's 4 damage. And I'm gonna pump in sneak attack.
Go for it.
I'm gonna plug in all 8.
Oh my
So I'm
goodness.
doing 12 damage to this thing.
Okay. You burst up out of the mud. You locate its eye, and you dive headfirst into it and plunge the phantom dagger into its eye. Jelly just sprays out in a fan in every direction, and all the tentacles in every direction. And you have to pull yourself out of the head of the squid covered in slime, and it is now lying limp in the mud. And
I'm gonna
Lupendus bursts up out and says,
I'm gonna pull myself out.
he's flailing in the mud, splashing in every direction.
I'm gonna turn around and lock eyes with the 2 dwarves. What is I can't Lupendus and
Arvia.
And this and Arvia.
I'm gonna lock eyes with Arvia in the black smoke because I've now just lost an empathy. Black smoke is just like pouring out of my eyes. I'm gonna take the dagger, force it back into my arm. I'm gonna walk over to Lupendus and push him onto the raft, grab the rope, and just start pulling and keep walking.
I sludge my way through and I just wrap my arms around you from behind and I just go in your ear. You did so good.
Arvia and Lupendus both climb back onto the raft. Grunrock, you dived into the mud, right? No. You pulled the
I just
raft.
pushed the raft
You got
closer.
it into
Yeah.
range for everybody, yeah. Okay, they come back up. Arvia's going to reach for your hand so you can help her up. Because she's covered in mud and trying
I'll
to
pull
climb
her
up.
out.
And Lupendus is going. Lupendus is coughing up mud. And she is like wiping the mud off of her face. And you're just seeing streaks of her face. And she's looking around and she's like, what was that? What did your friend just do?
She killed it.
Yeah.
That's why you brought us, isn't it?
Hey, is any of this squid edible?
Give me your axe. I'm gonna cut a tentacle off. We want dinner.
Arvia looks back and forth for a second, then she's like, all right, I'm in for that.
Hey, Bill.
Huh?
In traditional Kraken lore, if you painted the underside of your ship with kraken blood, it would make the krakens not attack you. I don't know if that's lore for this game, but that's
do
some
we know
kraken
that with
knowledge.
mine and Grunrock's single
One.
success?
No, you do not. I will
Can I
say,
roll lore?
I will say this. Until it spoils, you have unlimited fish.
Okay,
You
cool.
can declare an arbitrary.
Unlimited.
You can say we have 1,000,000 fish, and you have 1,000,000 fish.
All right.
You can chop off a whole tentacle, as much as you can load onto the carts, and you get as much fish as you want, and nobody has to roll food.
I do that.
All right. Who were the pullers that were? It was the two people were
It
pulling.
was
and one person was-
Raugar
I
and
was.
Velas.
Okay,
and
Raugar and Velas. Each of you make an endurance roll until you get. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna make an endurance roll. Until you get, you're gonna re-roll endurance over and over. Each time, you're going to lose strength equal to the number of skulls you get, and you're going to make progress equal to the number of successes you get.
But we get
Until you've gotten a total of 3 successes between the two of you. And if either of you want to tap out, you can. And if either of you run out of strength, then you will collapse on the boat.
I'm
exhausted.
down 1 strength. I got 1 success.
All right.
down 1 strength. I got 1 success.
All right.
I'll
lower
do
your
it, I'll
strength
do
by
it.
1 each.
Let me do it. Let me do it first.
Yeah, you do it. Boom.
Oh. Oh.
You're just
I got us
getting stuck in the
across.
mud. You keep slipping. You're getting exhausted, and you have to tap out.
That's 3
But
successes, though.
that's still
Oh, you got a
success.
success. I didn't see the success. I only saw the skulls because it was small on my overlay. Okay.
All you look for is the negative in us.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Black smoking eyes. Arms
Do you blame him?
shaking.
That is a fabulous looking kraken, by the way. I was very distracted with all the other things, but that was some fantastic art.
Well, I say.
I say. All right. He has a top hat and a monocle and a mustache. That's amazing. It's beautiful. All right. You make it to the far side of the lake. Very tired. Quite exhausted. Ugh. And everybody steps off. There is... it's a lower rise on the other side before there's like a landing, and there are staircases carved into the side of the hill leading up to a little doorway, and the sled can be dragged up whenever you're ready to proceed because you have more than enough people to do so. And standing on the shores of the mud lake on the far side as you make your way across are Rangmar and RV clapping. We picked the right ones to come along, didn't we? Yes, we did. They
Yeah,
slew a giant squid.
We need another rest now. That was really exhausting.
That's all right. Come, there's
Yeah.
room on the shores of the lake.
Okay, have a nap.
You guys want some squid?
Yes.
Oh, they do?
Oh yeah,
I
they
thought they
do.
only ate gold.
They'll eat some squid. They'll eat some cave squid.
Oh, but Bill had to leave his cooking set on the mule, didn't he?
Biggest oversight.
We're going primitive!
I want a hibachi party.
You want to have a hibachi party?
If we can make a
Absolutely.
fire, I can still cook it.
You can make a fire. All right. Yeah. So if you want to rest for a quarter day and cook all that stuff, anyone who wants to cook can convert fish into food, and anybody who wants to rest can recover their stats.
Yes.
I currently have 3 damage to my strength, 2 to my agility, and 1 to my empathy.
That's
So
pretty bad.
I'm gonna take a good little sleepy sleep.
Mhm.
I take a nap here.
Okay.
Good night.
I wrote rest/sushi in my notes. All right. Unfortunately, there's going to be one more thing to be rolled
Oh, no.
before You get to recover your stats. You set up. You make a small fire, and you're cooking your sushi feast. And I guess it's a calamari feast. Sushi feast wouldn't require any cooking. The entire chamber that you are in begins to shake violently. And dust starts raining down all around you. Clouds of dust from the huge ceiling. And huge chunks of the cave ceiling start falling down in random places. One goes down in the mud. One goes down next to you on the staircase. Boom, taking a big chip out of the staircase. And everybody needs to make a move roll to avoid being hit by anything falling.
Can I say before my roll that I want to help someone if they need it? Or do you want me to just go ahead and roll?
Everybody's rolling for themselves.
Okay.
Adam, there's
Hi.
an earthquake happening and chunks of the ceiling are falling out all around you. Everybody has to make a move roll to dive out of the way, and if you fail, then you will be attacked by a chunk of ceiling.
Oh, cool. The other Kraken's coming down to play. That's nice.
That's nice.
Grunrock succeeds, Vergello succeeds, Velas succeeds. Ralgar clicked the wrong button.
You know you love it.
Ralgar succeeds.
Finally.
Arvia's bad at this. She's getting hit. Lupendus is bad at this. He's getting hit. These dwarves and their clunky armor. Oh no. Arvia gets hit for
Oh no.
4 damage, and Lupendus gets hit for 3 damage, but they both have armor.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Lupendus reduces it by 1. Alright. That's not enough to deal a critical injury to either of them, but it almost does to Arvia. Since you're all about to rest and recover your health, this is not critical to anybody. If it had done 1 more point of damage, Arvia would have had to roll on the critical injuries table, but she's got a lot of health. So, yeah. The 2 dwarves both get slammed side by side by a huge chunk of the ceiling and knocked on their backs and injured pretty badly to the point where you would be forced to rest even if you weren't planning on it. But they're actually, yeah, Arvia's within 1 health of a critical injury. Lupendus has got 2 left. And the Dwellers are looking around. They seeped back into the cracks as soon as the rumbles started and completely avoided having to roll. And Rangmar comes forward and says,
That's the beast stirring below. We have to hurry before this whole realm comes down upon us.
Well, let's take a break first.
you get to rest now. Nothing else is
All
going
right.
to happen. Everybody gets to recover all their attribute points, including the dwarves who just got walloped. Everybody has to rest for a quarter day. You have a sushi feast, and there's no further rumblings. Nothing else bad happens to you. Making your way downtown.
So the Greek monsters I was thinking of were Scylla and
Charybdis.
Charybdis.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of this entire time that we were doing this fight. Was like, this is just what we're in right now. This is our life.
All right. Rangmar and RV will congratulate you on making your way past the great monster. They did not know that there was one living in the mud pits. They only knew of the one living in the lakes up above. But they congratulate you on making your way past it. And, yeah. Let's see. Yep. All right. They go, are we ready to proceed? It's now been 3 quarter days.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
It's a little too dark and dank down here for me.
You make your way deeper beneath the mountain. Far, far, far down hundreds of stairs.
You know what's crazy, Ralgar? We climbed so many stairs and things to get into this mountain, and we're just going further down. You would think you told someone, "Oh yeah, I went to the mountain." Be like, "Oh, you went like up?" No, I went so down. At what point does this mountain become a reverse mountain?
Oh, yeah, like, oh, we gotta pop out the other side of the world? That would be amazing.
That would be the quickest. What if this was the pathway to where the humans are?
Oh, we could set up a business and we could throw people down here and we could charge them lots of money. We'd get so rich.
Ralgar, as you're descending an 80-step long staircase, Lupendus is walking alongside you and he says, "May I ask you a question, friend?
Oh, yeah, you can ask me anything.
Have you lost someone close to you?"
Yeah, I've lost a lot of people that were close to me.
What keeps you going?
I found a new family. Don't you tell them that. But they're my new family. They're my new pack, and I'm gonna protect them until I die. So for me, I just know you can always find a new family on the other side of all the darkness.
Does it bother you to just replace the people you lost with whoever happens to come along?
That's a little bit more complicated than that. I sat for years and years trying to figure out where I would go, who I would be, and how I could bring back the people that I lost. But eventually I found myself an old wolf. Years from death, maybe not even 2 years from death. And I found the right people, and that changed everything. And they're kind of great. I mean, did you see what she did to that squid?
You don't look like an old wolf to me.
Oh, I'm a lot older than I look.
Your friends brought you your youth back? How can that be?
I don't know you well enough to talk about this yet. Let's just keep watching out for each other, and maybe I'll tell you in a little bit.
You're full of mysteries, little pup.
Oh, more than you know.
I have but one request. If I should fall in these caverns, just tell everyone I fought bravely.
You don't have to fall for me to tell people that.
That'll be good. All right. After descending even more stairs and wading through waterlogged caverns, you arrive at a fairly steeply sloping cave extending out before you, filled with ruins. Ruins of primitive stone houses that have crumbled to mere frames of what they once were. Out among the ruins, you can see pale forms, humanoid, roughly your size, shuffling about in the ruins. You can hear distant hisses of their voices communicating with each other. They are scarcely larger than halflings. And RV is going to turn to the party and say,
These are lizard folk. This city once belonged to the ancestors
of our people. He gestures to himself and Rangmar. And he says,
These dwellings fell to ruins in the rumblings, and these lizard folk came from an adjacent cave and took over what remained of the city. Now they mill about in the ruins. They scare easily, but they're not too friendly.
he turns to the other one and they go,
In all honesty, it would be easier if we crept through the cracks here and met you on the other side. Our folk don't have kind dealings with them, and the mere sight of us might set them off. Perhaps you could make your way across and we'll meet you over there.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna turn and look at Vergello. Are we not scary enough? Do you think that we're scary enough to just walk through?
Honestly, at this point, we're either gonna have to kill what's in front of us, scare it away, or just run away. Like, we're kind of miles down below the top of a mountain, and I've written off surviving at this point. So let's just
It looks
truck
like
forward.
It looks like there's maybe a dozen of them milling about in the ruins up ahead. They have primitive-looking spears, no armor, and they have like pale white scales. They're like little lizard folk, kind of like kobolds in D&D terms, but they have like pale scales and glowy white eyes, and there's like a tribe of them. There's maybe a
Do we have any more tentacles?
We have tons of squid left.
No,
Rangmar and Arvi are gonna jam.
I want like a big tentacle.
I'm pretty sure it's all chopped up.
There is a ramp down into this cave that doubles down, and then there's a main thoroughfare through the town, so there's no obstacles to moving the sleds, but you don't have much cover and not much way to approach stealthily unless you come up with a creative solution. Otherwise, you're dealing with a dozen of these dudes somehow.
Let's just walk through.
If they start coming towards us in any kind of threatening way, I'm just going to try and manipulate them into thinking we're a larger threat by, like, you know, roaring and threatening them.
Okay.
Hoping that manipulation will work on them.
All right.
Shouting insults, you know.
All right. So you're just going to charge in there and see how things go?
I mean, we're just gonna walk calmly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, you're
Yeah.
just going to forge ahead with the sleds and everything, all as a group.
Mhm.
All right. Arvia standing there, axe raised. Lupendus is ready for a fight. And you descend your way down the big stone ramp. When you're about 2/3 of the way down, one of them notices you and starts chattering out a call to all of the others that echoes through the cavern. And they start milling about the ruins and assembling until there's a whole bunch of them coming towards you in like a semicircle, and they're closing in, and they have little tiny spears raised, and they're going, and they're coming at you in a warlike fashion, and they're like shouting orders to each other, and they seem to be closing in a semicircle like they're planning to assault you.
I want to. I mean, I'm assuming they're not understanding anything that I'm saying, but I'm just gonna, like, in a very boisterous and loud tone, say, "You foul creatures don't want to fight us, the puny little implings," just, you know, and then like the occasional growl and roar to try and look like I'm bigger and like kind of nudge everyone next to me, like, "Come on!" Like,
Oh, I'm helping. I'm howling. I'm like, Gwenrock, let's be as loud as we want to be. And I'm just howling. And I'm showing my fangs.
All right.
I'm gonna speak straight up goblin as loud as I can.
All right. So this is a unified manipulate roll to try to seem unafraid and like you're coming in whether they like it or not, and to look as intimidating as possible.
If one gets close enough to grab, I'm gonna pick him up and then throw him.
the old
they're
goblin
closing in.
hello.
They're
Humanoid?
closing in with a circle of spears pointed at you and starting to poke from all directions until you are closed in close to the carts. And go ahead and Vergello, make a manipulate roll, and we're gonna add a die for Ralgar and Grunralk for their howls. You can get +1 die maximum. You're gonna need 2 successes to successfully intimidate these guys off, because even though they are timid, they do outnumber you. And
Okay.
it looks to them like they could take this fight if they kept their nerve. So, but they are timid
How-
enough to foolishly run if you really.
How
make a
many of them
statement.
are there?
There's 12 of them.
Oh, 12. Okay. I thought you said there were 6. In my
No.
brain, for some reason, heard 6. I was like, there's 6 of us.
They outnumber you 2-1.
Are they humanoid?
Oh
or
my
monsters?
god.
Wait, all right. So, question:
Yes.
Do I push or do I roll my pride first?
What's your pride?
My pride is I don't know if this counts, because they're
What's
not
your-
really like listening to my words.
Uh-huh.
It's the most stalwart of minds are weak to my manipulative words. But I am trying to manipulate them into convincing. It's
They
very like
don't
on the
speak your
line.
language, so I don't think there's any way for your words to help here.
Okay, so am I pushing the roll?
I think you're pushing the roll, yeah.
Okay. Remove one base dice. Oof. That's really gonna hurt my empathy, guys, but I got 3.
You did. All right. Yeah, they're gonna run off. You all go in shouting and howling, and they are just gonna chicken out and decide, oh shit, they're not running away and they're not surrendering. We can't take this fight, and they disappear into the ruins in every direction. And you just see eyes peering at you from the stone houses as you make your way through.
Oh god, Rock, I don't know how you talk in like that growling tone. Just doing that really killed my voice. Oh.
You drag your way through this town. It has some architecture similar to the dwarven architecture you saw in the city up above, but what remains of the fragments of these buildings, just the foundations and the lower halves of the buildings where they've collapsed or been caved in or had chunks of cave dropped on them, are intricately carved with runes and decorations. It's like every inch of stone in this place that survives what has happened is a work of art. Just the like foundation stones of these ordinary houses are masterworks of architecture and of art and carving. Whoever made these, it's absolutely mystifying, their skill at stone carving. Quite beautiful to look at. And you drag your way through the city, and these cowardly, pale lizard folk runts are looking at you as you make your way through the city, and they don't bother you further. And you make your way all the way to the far side of the chasm, and there's Rangmar and Arvi looking at you about a half hour later.
Well
Hey
done.
guys.
I hoped they would not cause you too much trouble.
Nope. No trouble at all.
Told you they were cowards. Yes,
Yeah.
cowards.
Lucky that I've had enough to eat already.
They would never have dared to bother us. They just moved in after we left town. All right, deeper we go. Onward to the Sun Cave. Yes, the Sun Cave.
The Sun Cave.
That sounds nice. I can't wait to see the sun again.
It's not.
And then they keep on walking forward.
You guys keep doing this to us.
It's arguably a terrible place.
I just put my hand on your shoulder. I thought we would see the sun too. That's a really shitty name for it.
Just like full on ears and tail just all go womp.
This time, instead of there being like a door and a landing on the far side of town, there's a tower on the far side of town, and they point into it, and the tower, the stone tower, has a huge spiral staircase down into it, wide enough to push the sleds on, but barely. And they're like,
All right. We go down to the Sun Cave now.
Hold on. We're going down a tower?
The tower
Yeah, we're
carves the
going down a
stairs
staircase.
down to the Sun Cave. Yes, the
How
Sun
much
Cave.
farther do we have to go? This is crazy.
It is still far. Still far.
There's gotta be a more direct route.
Yeah, guys, team meeting.
How come you guys didn't
Where's-
build the elevator like all
Yeah,
the way
what-
down?
Why does the elevator stop where it stops, guys?
Arvia says she could do this without us. Do they really need us? Oh, I guess I do want that keep. Oh, they're gonna make
Oh
me out of
god, I
stone.
forgot about the keep.
I
Yeah,
did
we're gonna get-
too.
Just think about
Listen.
the amazing house we're gonna have after this.
No matter how many times you ask them, their solution's always gonna be the same. Just squeeze through the cracks. We're gonna have to walk down.
All right, let's go.
nothing's easy in the Forbidden Lands. If you get a good reward, it's because you've gone through hell to get it. I promise.
Wait, I don't want to go all the way to hell.
You're getting pretty
At
close.
at this rate, like,
The set of spiral staircases under the city of stone.
Is there anything worth looting that we've seen anywhere? You know,
You could go
that
out
we've seen
exploring the city of
people
stone
do?
if you want to look for loot.
Oh boy, the kobolds might not like
Yeah, I
that.
was about to say, do you want to go fight the little lizard people?
Kinda.
All right. Already on the spiral staircases under the city of stone, you unexpectedly pick up the scent of, any guesses? Any guesses? Flowers. Yes,
Oh.
the scent of flowers wafts across your nostrils, fresh and
I smell it
warm.
first.
Rising, yeah. Ralgar smells it before anybody. You can say something if you want, or you can wait 5 minutes before they notice.
I want my ears to perk, like immediately prick up and be like, oh, guys, you're not gonna believe this.
What? Says Arvia.
I smell something pretty. It reminds me of you. Ah. You'll see.
You smell
Follow me.
dwarves?
I
You
go
smell
bounding.
Dwarves. Are there dwarves up ahead? He's gone. We lost him. The scent of flowers, fresh and warm, rising towards you. And when the stairs suddenly open up, you stand before a surreal subterranean valley filled with greenery. This is a little tricky to describe, so I'm going to do my best here.
Okay.
Let me actually flip back over to the... let me flip back over to the other map. There's a little
Later,
doodle
Kraken.
There's a little doodle that'll do it some justice. Oops. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Josh, did you reveal too much there?
This is exactly what I wanted to reveal, but I did it accidentally because I picked the wrong map. All right. Yeah. So, no, it's all under control. It's fine. I was going to show this in a minute. All right.
Don't mind me. I just broke Aimee and Hank.
What did you do?
You'd have to look at the group chat.
Oh, God. All right. I'll look at it after the session, as always. There's like 100, every time we finish a session, there's like 150 messages in our private chat. That's just
Yarp.
I'm just scrolling through like 3 hours of conversation. All right,
Josh, I'm really concerned about this Indiana Jones ball that's clogging a crater full of
it's
magma.
totally fine. It's totally fine.
Oh, okay.
All right, you're at the top of one of those big spirals, and I will say that and then proceed with my description. You emerge at the top of a 150-meter high pillar. One of two that supports the rock ceiling of this vast chasm. Spiral stairs around the gorgeously ornamented pillar continue downwards to the floor of the great valley. Along the right lip of the valley, lava burbles in a volcanic gulch. A
Yeah, it
30-meter wide scorched furrow runs across the valley from the volcanic gulch to a steaming precipice. A large fireball slowly rolls along the furrow like a miniature sun. Behind the ball, the furrow smolders. The Dwellers turn to you and they say, "The Sun Valley."
What the fuck is this? This is not the sun. How is that not gonna kill us?
Where are the flowers that I smelled? Are
They
you
are
tricking
all
us
over the
again?
valley. The valley is
Oh,
filled
okay.
with greenery and growth.
Oh, well, that's gorgeous.
The huge ball of fire is slowly rolling down the just slowly rolling down the gulch. Down below, you see many creatures.
Oh.
Bill, your camera's off. I don't know if you know that or not. In case
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't.
here. Give me 1 second.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just letting you know in case it was bugged out or something. The valley, you see many cave creatures milling about, and they have little stone structures and little huts assembled on both sides of the gulch. Sorry, give me 1 sec. I gotta check 1 or 2 details before I say the wrong thing here.
No, you're good. We're just drawing on your map.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not gonna be as good as the top hat on the squid, but we're doing our best.
They're going to... Oh, those drawings aren't showing up on the stream. One sec. Sorry for the delay. Here we go. All right. It wasn't refreshing until I clicked on it. Yeah, so you've filled it with drawings. Beautiful. All right, so anyway, you see those pale lizard-like creatures down below, and Rengmar is going to turn to you, and he says,
More of the lizards. This is where they dwell. This is their home. They are cowardly, but they are much greater in number here.
and he gestures to the far side of the valley, way across from the furrow. Yeah, way over there. And he says,
Over there is an arch. The arch leads deeper beneath the mountain. We must make the sleds over there. But the tribes below, this is their territory. This is their homeland. They are legion here. We must make our way past them to go deeper. But they will not take kindly to our intrusion on their territory. And the tribes, he gestures down, straight down, and he says, the east. And then he gestures over there and he says, the west beyond the furrow. They hate one another. They've been at war for generations. East and west, west and east, fighting from across the furrow. We must make our way across both their territories to proceed. And then Arvi goes, we don't wish to get into trouble. We will stick to the carts and you can figure out a way past.
Wait, when you say stick to the carts, do you mean you're gonna, like, to the carts?
he sort of oozes back against, like, in between two of the barrels and hides inside. He's somewhere in between the barrels of
you
materials.
get back out here. I'm not done with you.
A voice from inside the cart goes, no, I'm not coming out.
Well, how do we get across the furrow?
I don't know anymore. We
It's
avoid
like a
these
deep
pests,
hole.
but there's no way down with the sleds. No. We travel through the tiny cracks, but the tiny cracks don't allow the sleds. So you have to get past the tribes.
Wait, how deep is the hole?
That huge boulder is still rolling along. Rangmar's gonna pop his head up above, and he says, the chasm goes down forever. But that, and he points, is their sun. It's what gives life to the valley. Every 8th hour, it renews in that furrow over there, and rolls slowly across the valley, and then drops. Over and over, all through the day. It's the circle of life. They worship it like a god, and they hate one another.
But there's no bridge.
No, there's not. There's only the furrow, and it's rather steep.
How
You can also
wide
see
is
that the whole furrow behind the big rolling boulder is like smoldering orange. And you can see that the furrow in front of the boulder is smoldering orange. But there's like a segment that's crossable. That's the segment that's been the longest since it was touched. That's dark.
So that's not the chasm. That's just a furrow.
It's the groove that the sun rolls down.
And it's about, you said it was a 13 meter across, and if that thing is round, that means it's about 7 meters deep.
It's a hefty ditch, yeah, something like that.
A hefty ditch. Ladies
It's a
and
hefty
gentlemen.
ditch. It's mostly smoldering, except the segment in front of the sun that's been the longest since it's been touched. And apparently this giant rolling magma boulder just cycles through this chasm forever. Who knows why? Who knows how long this has been going on? But you've got two warring tribes on opposite sides of a ditch. You've got a narrow gap in the ditch that's crossable depending on when the boulder's rolling down it. And you have to get to the far side with all of your supplies in tow, while an unengageable number of lizard folk down there don't want you in their territory.
I'm reaching in between the cracks of the barrel and I'm grabbing this jelly dwarf by his ether and I'm pulling him out.
Why do you do this?
There must be another way across
It's
this.
the only way.
It can't be the only
Okay.
way.
It's the
Okay, and
only
I
way.
push Veloz off him, and I go, how important
are these supplies to you and your people?
What? You talking about the sleds?
Yeah, I'm talking about the things you're trying to hide in.
We must reinforce the prison of the beast, must we not?
You are the one that's telling me that. I don't know. I've never been down there.
These materials are necessary to our mission to reinforce the prison of the beast.
Then you're gonna have to go get some more of your people. And you're gonna have to make a distraction for us.
No.
We can't do this.
No.
Okay, then we're taking them back up.
No, this is our sacred task. This is our sacred task.
Just for 2 of you to save your entire people? Be real with me. How many of you are there left?
Not many. Most are old. Some do not care. We took it upon ourselves to go to the surface to petition aid, because the beast will collapse the caves. It will ruin us all.
And no one else wanted to help?
Rangmar's gonna pull you aside, Ralgar, and have a private conversation. He's gonna say, come. And he's gonna bring you
Okay.
back up the stairs out of earshot of everybody else. He says,
You.
Yeah.
The beast that waits beneath. It will collapse our world. But if this cannot be done, if we cannot reinforce the prison, we could simply release it to the surface. Do you think the surface world would be better if it was perhaps shook up?
I know what you're saying. And I'm gonna give you an honest answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what the beast is and how to beat it. And you can let it on the surface world and we'll kick its booty. But if you can't tell us anything about it, how are we supposed to help you more?
can I ask everybody to mute until I raise a finger to say to come back? I'll say to come back in the Roll20 chat when everybody can unmute. Does that work for everybody?
I'm trying to mute Adam.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear us? Are we muted?
Are we muted? Hello, everyone.
No,
All
hold
right.
on. All right.
Bill's-
Yep.
All right.
He says, "Do not tell the girl dwarf because she will be angry.
Uh-oh. Okay, I agree.
The beast beneath. It is the dragon Skarn.
I knew it!
No! Shh. It was
I'm
never
sorry.
slain. It was never slain. Her ancestors are fools. They lied. They could not slay it. They merely imprisoned it, and they lied. Now it shakes the earth. It wishes to break free, and its bonds grow weak. If we set it free, our realm is protected. It will be released to the world above. You have the supplies to reinforce its bonds. Either of these will solve our problem. But you must decide, is it worth keeping the beast down here for another age, or might you bargain with it? Might you let it free? If we cannot get these supplies, it could be released. It could be released instead. We could simply break its bonds and let it free. It might thank you. It might reward you. We simply want it out of our realms before it ruins everything.
And there is nothing else your people could do to try to help us get across right here? Like, even just popping your heads out and I don't know. If we could just get all of those little angry lizard people looking in the same direction, we could sneak across.
You could cross the plains, but you would have to fool them in some way.
Yeah. Okay. I need to talk to my friends, but not the dwarven girl.
Very well. Do not tell her. Do not tell
I
her.
won't.
She will be angry, and she will
Oh,
not
yeah.
believe it, but it is
No.
true.
No, she'll punch me.
Mics can go back on.
Come on back, everyone, and let us know when you're back.
Yep.
I'm here.
Bill's here. Amy's here. Hank will come
Hank
back when he
is on
comes
his way
back.
back. He was using
All
the
right,
restroom.
Grenrock, let's keep it moving.
I come back and I am trying to signal like as subtly as a wolf can that like the core team needs to have a talk. In fact, I might even ask Vergello. Yeah, this will work. Okay. Hey, Vergello, I need you to do me a favor.
Okay.
I got some info, but Arvia, she cannot hear it. I promise, I'll tell you after I tell the others, but I need you to like distract her or something while I talk with Velas and with Grunrock.
Okay, sure. Maybe we just take a short little rest here for a little bit, figure out a plan.
You need another nap, says Arvia.
Yeah, honestly, I just kind of, need to get in the right headspace.
Sore, huh?
No, it's my human feet that are killing me.
I'm gonna sneak off and grab Velas and Grunrock while these two are going at it.
Oh yeah, she says that elf foot comment, and I just like full turn to get in the argument. He like grabs my.
No.
Josh. I'm
like,
going.
We're never going to get to the bottom if we keep having to rest. You know this, right? What were we saying? Sorry.
I'm gonna use I'm gonna say like, you know what, I got really like too primal, and I'm not like really in the right headspace right now. I just need to like recenter, and I'm gonna pull out my my guitar, I guess my lyre, not a guitar, and I'm gonna use one of my willpower points to use my Path of the Song ability.
Okay.
Where I can draw the attention of everyone in near range of myself for a few minutes. They stop what they're doing, and any scouting roll they make is modified negatively by the number of willpower I spend.
Perfect. Since
it doesn't have an effect in combat.
Since she's not actively on the watch either, it's just going to auto-succeed, and your friends can have a conversation unimpeded with no chance of her hearing it.
Okay, and just in case, because I had to spend the willpower point, and it counts as 2, because, I'm half-elf. The second rank of it is as per rank 1, but I can also persuade my audience to pay for my singing. They will pay what they can up to a number of silver pieces equal to the number of willpower I spend.
All right. She's got the money. She's rich. She'll do it. She's like a.
I'm distracting any of the like. I'll distract the jelly dwarves and Lupendus, like all of them.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what? Come on, guys. Like,
your music is even echoing into the cavern below, and you see just heads swaying while they watch the sun rolling along down below.
Just dropping money on the ground where they stand.
Meanwhile, Ralgar, Grunrog, Velas.
Wait, how much silver did I get, Josh?
What is the exact wording of it? It says they'll pay you what?
They pay what I can up to a number of silver pieces equal to the number of willpower I spent, which counts as 2.
Yeah, then you get 2 for sure.
Okay, cool.
She's got more than enough money.
What about Lupendus?
All right.
What about the jelly dwarves?
The jelly dwarves are entranced. Lupendus isn't tranced unless you want to drag them out. Anybody that you want to actively drag out before.
No, I'm just wondering if they are also paying money.
Bank. Like, are they all paying him? They've all got money.
I don't know. Move on with your conversation. I'll figure it out.
Okay. That's happening. I pull Velas and Grunrock up to the meeting space, the same place the old jelly dwarf took me up the steps a little bit, and I've got like my ears are like, they're not like sad, they're like flat, and I'm like, guys, you have to promise not to make noise when I tell you this. But seriously, don't make a sound. Velas, you were right. It's the dragon.
Fucking do it.
Yeah. The jelly dwarf told me that girl dwarf Arvia, her clan, they didn't kill the dragon. They couldn't kill the dragon. Instead, they just chained him up. And the jelly dwarf said to me, he was pretty honest with me. It was refreshing because, frankly, these guys, they just keep telling us nothing over and over. Oh, yeah. He said that for real, they can chain him up again with these supplies. And like he said, it'll be another generation's thing to worry about it. We'll all be dead in the ground except you because you're immortal. But they said it'll last for a while.
Or, well, he didn't say that. That's me saying that.
If I've got to deal with this with a whole nother round of people, I'm gonna be really mad. I didn't want to deal with it the first time.
Right? So he said that. Or he said we could let it go. And it would go up to the surface world and cause endless destruction. And it wouldn't be the jelly dwarf's problems. And he said the dragon might reward us for releasing it. So, that's what we have to think about.
Does he know the name of the dragon?
Yeah, he said his name is Skarn.
Oh, so it is the dragon Scar.
Oh, it's the dragon, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what should we do? I've never been in a situation like this.
What kind of situation do you mean? Do you mean the horrific, terrible outcome for us on either side?
Yeah. I mean, to either face an army of lizard people or face the end of civilization as we know it. That situation. I've never been in that one before.
I mean, I don't really think that we should release the dragon, to be completely candid. And I don't think that Vergello's gonna want us to release the dragon. I don't really care. I should care a little more than I do, to be completely candid. Because I'm the one who's gonna be stuck here for multiple generations.
Yeah. You're gonna be really old, but you'll still be pretty.
Thanks, buddy. But I don't know how to cross this freaking thing.
I don't know either. But I mean, I don't think we could kill a dragon. Whether we're up there or whether we're down here, it's one thing to kill Terra Malda, it's another to kill a freaking dragon.
I think had I known for sure that the dragon was going to be here, I wouldn't have put in so much effort to kill a squid. That's perhaps on me.
Are you worried about that power that we have? Did you use all of it?
I used all of it.
Do you need some more?
Can
you know where it came from?
I don't care.
Well, really? Because you were pretty mad at me about it.
I was mad because we had a bunch of people and a time bomb who was pretty upset about magic.
Wait, hold on. So if I go to get in the future, but I go further away, we're good?
I'm good.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
for my next song...
Yeah, I could do that for you. You just let me know. I've got it's kind of hard to measure because it's this source that's within us. But if I were to say I've probably got 8 worth of it.
I have an idea.
Oh, I like ideas.
It's not a good idea.
Oh, wait. If we're not gonna mention the dragon anymore, should we bring Vergello back?
Yeah. Listen. Your little suck the life out of everything trick.
Yeah.
How big can it get?
Big, but not that big.
Could you kill the dragon?
Could it get,
And I'm gonna point down at the kobold village.
that big?
Yeah. Oh.
I think I found a way across.
Thing is, though, I don't know, where the edges of it will be, so I don't know where to tell you to go. But I would like to do that.
Should we do that, or should we save it for a dragon?
We don't have to save it. I can do it as many times as we want. It's giving me power, not taking it from me.
My God, I could kiss you.
Oh, I mean, I do have a nice nose. Snout. I think we should talk to Vergello about
Let's talk
this.
to Vergello, but I mean, I think we could take care of these kobolds and figure some stuff out, or at least half of them.
I don't know if it will work on a dragon, because they're like a power that's not like normal powers. But I bet I could do something to some of these lizard people.
All right. Good team meeting. You guys go talk to Vergello. I'm gonna stay back for a minute. Don't let any of the dwarves or the jelly dwarves come back to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna talk to some people.
Oh, some people.
And I try to wink, but like wolves can't. It's like you humans have weird gestures.
I'm gonna walk downstairs with
Okay.
I'm with you.
Ralgar.
I'll return downstairs as Vergello is finishing the tune. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tips are not expected, but very greatly
You
appreciated.
do get showered in coins from the people watching. It's the audience. It says the audience pays you up to 2 silver pieces, which means
Right, yeah.
you make 2 silver pieces. I looked that up while this
Hey,
was going
that's two more silver than I had before.
on. Yeah. All right.
So we had a little conference, and we have a terrible plan.
Oh, okay.
Terrible plan for what?
Come
Says
here.
Olivia.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
for
kinda whisper.
for where we're gonna
Okay.
sleep tonight.
Oh, a camping
So,
site. What are they whispering about over there?
You remember that thing that happened in the forest with Ralgar?
Yeah.
Where nothing lived?
Oh, jeez.
and I'm just gonna point to the kobold village and let his brain do the rest.
You're right. That is a terrible idea.
I didn't say it was a good one. I expressly said
You're
it
right.
was bad.
You said bad, and I'm agreeing. That's bad.
I mean,
Arvia
how
says, "So,
else can
how are we
get
gonna
through here?
get across here?"
I wish you could maybe would just kill all the lizard people. What do you think about that, Arvia?
How are we going to do that? Why?
Ralgar, are you
Keep
sure
saying
you
you're
can?
good at fighting?
Ralgar, are you sure you can do this?
There might
and
be 100
not
inhabitants in this chasm. What are you talking
kill
about?
us.
Nope.
Can you explain in like technical details how this works, so I can be like technically somewhere else when it
How what
happens?
works?
Just hold on.
Short version. Our little wolf friend can suck the life out of everything around him.
Excuse me.
Excused.
Hold on. Back up. Sorry to put a damper on your
I'm
plan.
gonna take.
It says
a
plants and
step
animals.
back.
Oh, are they not animals? Are they humanoids?
Just plants and animals. It's
The
not gonna,
one time. The
it's not
one
gonna apply to
time.
people and monsters.
I'm sorry. If you're living in this lush
Wait.
green space underground, and everything that you have ever seen for your entire life wilts and dies instantaneously around a giant wolf, are you not going into your house?
If we're looking for distraction,
Yeah.
I got a
just saying.
distraction.
I'm just
for ya.
saying, it kills plants and animals within range. And there
Well,
has to
kill
be
the
living
little
stuff for
lizard
him to gain
dudes.
any willpower off of it.
But it will definitely make them leave.
And there is growth all over the chasm, so there's that.
Ralgar, you got anything else up your sleeve?
Uh,
I don't know the full extent of your capabilities. I know at one point you brought 2 orc corpses back up and kicking. Maybe that would be a good distraction.
While
We
you're
had
having
some
this
corpses on hand.
conversation, there's a rumbling and there's an earthquake, and you see the whole chasm shaking and dust falling down in clouds as big chunks fall out of the ceiling in random places throughout the chasm. And on the far side of the furrow, you see just a boulder land directly on a lizard on the far side of the chasm, and then the rumbling slowly stops. And on your side of the chasm, the closer side of the chasm, you just hear a mass cheer, and all of the lizards start praising and dancing and running around in circles and mocking. And on the other side, they all fall to their knees, and they're all praying and bowing and following the big rolling sun and making capitulations to it like they've done wrong. And you just see this huge social upheaval happen because this one rock fell.
Can I kick like a pebble off the stairs towards the people on our side?
Sure. I don't know if they'll
I
notice
just
the pebble. You're
want to
very
see if
far
I
away.
like will hit. I just want to kick a rock down since they're doing all the capitulation. I wanted like a rock to fall.
Okay, one of them goes "Gunk," in the head with a tiny pebble. He looks up, and then he looks down, and then he falls to his knees and just starts going ah, and like bowing like he's done something wrong, like
I
he's
think
angered
we
the
have our
gods.
distraction. Should we just go for it?
No, because we still have to get
No.
across a 13-foot ditch.
With a
Well,
sled
there's
full
a-
of supplies.
Yeah, we're just pushy.
Isn't Josh? Can you? Sorry, when you were describing, I thought I remember you saying there's a point at which we can cross. It's a very small part where it's
So
no
I
longer
was saying that the
smoldering.
furrow that the sun orb rolls down
Right.
in the trail immediately behind the sun orb, it is like smoldering, glowing orange hot.
Right. But
Up
at the
ahead of
furthest
it,
end,
up ahead of it a ways, it's still smoldering a little bit, and there's a gap in front of it that's dark, where it's been the longest since it passed, and that gap is just black and has a tiny bit of mist rising off of it.
okay, so we would want to be like on this end where it's
You
like
would want to
the
be
least
just in
hot.
front of the sun, wherever it is, because that's where it's least hot.
Oh, because this starts to become molten again.
Yes, the sun is
Got
molten
it.
ball,
Got it. Okay.
and it heats the thing as it travels along it. And the only part that's
Got
not
it.
like smoldering orange is the part in front of the sun, because it's been however many hours since the sun rolled that way.
Does it go back and forth, or is it always like right to left?
The Dwellers
And then a
told
new
you
one
that
pops
it
up.
emerges every 8 hours from that lava pit and rolls down, and then falls into an endless chasm, and then reemerges at the beginning again.
We're gonna have to build some kind of bridge for these sleds. We can't go down into this furrow. Otherwise, we're gonna be like making time-sensitive rolls with these freaking sleds in front of the sun.
We as a group could cross, but yeah, the sleds themselves are going to have some form of something to go across it.
I think this might be a good place to call it, so that you can all discuss in between what you want to do, because there's no way
What
we'll
will
resolve
happen
this thing
next
in the
week?
next 10 minutes.
Will they ford the river? Will Ralgar steal all the life from the flowers in the valley?
I think you all should
Find out next week.
I think you all should put a strategy together before next time, and we'll wrap here.
All I want to say for anybody watching, go back to when I'm pointing out the whole necromantic magic thing and look at Josh's face. It was great.
All right, I'm gonna find the experience, and we'll hand it out.
He was furiously searching. He's like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work on humanoids, does it? It doesn't work on humanoids. You can't just cheese monsters.
Mm-hmm. The answer was it doesn't. All right, let's do experience. First, did you participate in the game session? Boom. By the way, Aimee, you're very dark. It's very hard to see you right now.
You've been spending time in the sun, sweetheart?
Oh. Number 2. Did you travel through at least one hex? No. Did you discover a new adventure site? No. Did you defeat one or more monsters? Yes. Did you find a treasure worth of gold or more? Yes. Did you build a functioning stronghold? No. Did you activate your pride? No. Sorry. I know somebody tried to. Did you suffer from your dark secret? I don't think anybody did. Did you risk your life for another player character?
I mean, Aim's like fabulously charged into the eye of the squid.
She did. Yeah.
I didn't sacrifice myself for a player character, so that's a non-starter.
She entered into arm's reach of the beast while the party was fighting it after having been out of reach, and I mean,
It's definitely an
multiple people.
extraordinary feat.
I don't know. I think extraordinary action goes to Aimee.
Yeah.
But risk your life for another player character. I don't know if anybody explicitly. I mean, multiple people engaged in the combat with the monster, but nobody like went out of their way to put their life on the line. I feel like.
I tried to help people with the falling rocks, but then it wasn't a player character. And I was like,
Yeah,
well.
it was out of your hands on
Same.
that one.
I hacked at the tentacle, but it was not a player character that was being
Yeah, I didn't-
drowned.
Well, multiple
do
people
anything.
fought bravely. I'm not going to give any XP for the risking your life for another PC this time, but I will give one for the extraordinary action to Aimee for sneaking up, spending all of her willpower, and diving in to take out the squid on behalf of the group. We'll do that. And that will be all the XP for this time.
We got to get out of this cave. We're not getting adventure sites or hexes.
The
Well,
easy
you are
XP.
getting monster kills and treasure, so there's that.
Yeah, we always get those.
So I think,
Real treasure is the friends we.
so today is January 8th. I am doing a game jam for the next 2 weeks. So I think we're gonna play 3 weeks from today on the 29th. Does that work for everybody?
Ooh, I think the 29th is Blades, or is it around then? Let's go back and
Blades is
see
the
when we.
Blades is the first or the second. I think it's the
Okay.
second. It's not on the 29th. It's the same week, but it's like 5 days apart. I'm gonna
I'm-
say tentatively.
I'm tentative for the 29th for sure.
Tentatively, we're gonna play about the 29th. Oh, I missed Elric's chat earlier. It said it's a ritual, isn't it? And yes,
Elric was
Oh,
on our
yeah.
side.
rituals take a quarter day to perform.
It'd take a quarter
Is
day to
probably
do.
the point he was getting at. And yeah. So you would have to find a place to do it in secret. You would have to, if you wanted to do the ritual magic, even if it could kill all these humanoids, you would have to smuggle him in somewhere to perform the ritual without them knowing it while within range of them, which would be an additional challenge on this whole thing.
We could still steal all the plant life from the flowers just to get the willpower.
Yeah, you could. Or to cause a religious upheaval or something. I don't know.
Yeah, same.
They're clearly superstitious. But anyway, so we'll tentatively play 3 weeks from tonight. After that, we'll go back to our usual every other week schedule. The holidays and my game jam have slowed things down a little bit. So we'll pick up there. But thanks for watching. I'm working on catching up on all the edited versions of these videos. There's going to be more than the usual amount of videos coming out in the next couple of weeks because I have a backlog and I'm just carving through them. So we'll have the edited versions of these episodes coming up soon. We will be playing Blades again in 3 weeks and this again in 3 weeks, I think.
Heck yeah.
I'll post as soon as I know the official dates of things. I'll post on the YouTube schedule. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching.